What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here with another Postmortem. If you want to get your player ratings in, the QR code is on screen right now. And yeah, we'll
give him L. Give him L.
So a few people did say that to me after the game once again yesterday. But yeah, just get your player ratings in. We'll get the link in the live chat as well if you want to get your ratings in, but QR code is on screen. But let's just get straight into it, man. Last night was a night from hell. Another night from hell. Just when you think it just can't get any worse, it gets worse.
After a midweek from hell.
You know what I mean? It's just like, just give me a break, Tottenham, please. Just for 1 week, give me a break. I thought Wednesday night, the results couldn't have gone much worse. And you're thinking, like, if we had anything about us as a football club, we'll be fighting tooth and nail to get a result in this Crystal Palace game, knowing that we're going into this game one point off the drop. And there's just nothing. There is nothing on that football pitch. There really isn't. And, you know, stadium, a lot of empty seats in the stadium yesterday, which, you know, you can't really blame the fans for with the ticket prices and everything going
pre-game.
Yeah, just throughout the whole game,
yeah.
like it just emptied out as the game wore on. You know, at half time it emptied out massively, and by full time there was pretty much no one in. It was like me and Dad, and that was it.
We have
in the
capacity
stadium.
numbers. Do we know what?
I don't know what the numbers were, or the official numbers were, but the official numbers are always skewed, aren't they? So I don't even trust them. But like the fans that were in that stadium tried to give their all. They really did. So I commend them for that. And, you know, I was there standing up for the majority of the game, trying to lend my support to the team. But it just becomes so hard as the game goes on.
You know, once you're 3-1 down and down to 10 men, it's like, oh,
but even in the second half, 3-1 down, we were still singing, still trying. And we get nothing in return. We really do. And it's like, it gets worse and worse every week. And let's start off with the bloody starting lineup yesterday, because Igor Tudor, three losses on the bounce now as Spurs manager, a guy that is supposed to come in and get an instant impact. You're looking at this Palace game, and we said it before the game. This is the game where we just have to win by hook or by crook. It does not matter. What is he starting Pedro Porro at right centre-back for? When he's got a João Palhinha there, when he's got an Archie Gray there, put João Palhinha at right centre-back, put Pedro Porro in his natural position, and get Archie Gray in the midfield. I just didn't understand it.
First of all the rumours, by the way, of Kinski and all this kind of stuff turned out to be utter rubbish, which I was kind of happy with, like in a sense that are we starting to like put out some wrong info to throw people off? But anyway, it's a separate issue. But I was kind of like, maybe we are starting to react to these leaks and leak wrong information and try and throw a curveball, but whatever, didn't exactly have any sort of impact anyway. We were discussing the lineup, weren't we, in the group chats before the game? Is it going to be a back four? Is it going to be Porro right wing back and all this kind of stuff? The one thing we didn't think, literally the only thing we didn't consider, Porro right centre back and Gray right wing back and Palhinha in the middle. I think that's literally the worst combination you could have picked. And I couldn't believe that was how he set up. I kind of understand the logic, although I don't agree with it. Get Porro a bit more central because we literally have no progressors in the middle, and just get him in kind of like a Trent role, inverting, just spamming. So
put him in centre mid then, don't put him at centre back.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't understand it. The only kind of method of attack we have at the moment, or hope, is if we get Porro at right wing back and get him spamming crosses in and hoping that one of them lands on Solanke's head and we can score. It seems like that seems to be the only like method of quality that we could hope for is doing that at the moment, given our lack of ball progression through the middle with the players that we got available. Like for me, if we had Gray and Sarr there, I think those are players who can take the ball on the half turn, who are a bit more confident on the ball, and I would be a lot more comfortable with Gray there, with Sarr, Porro on the right, and Palhinha at centre back. And I would think like, okay, the dynamics are there, but he plays Palhinha, who doesn't want to receive the ball. He plays Gray, who can't. I know Gray played well, but he can't dominate a whole wing. And he doesn't really. I know he got an assist, but he's not like a marauding wing back, isn't he? He can't do it relentlessly. He can just kind of pick his moments. And then you got Porro stuck at the back, and also asked to do all this defending in behind, winning headers, dealing with long balls, which isn't exactly his forte either. So the whole thing was what really made no sense to me. When I saw the lineup, I was like, okay, he's got square pegs and square holes. He's got Porro right wing back, Sousa left wing back. He's finally playing.
Little did position. You know what he was actually going to do.
Couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe when it's set up. I was like, is that actually where Porro's starting? I was like, I can't believe it. I know we saw him in the Fulham game. They were warming up in a back three, and then it turned out to be a back four. But then he's gone back to this back three. And it seems as though he went back to the system he knows and he trusts. But I don't understand why he played it in that way. It didn't make sense.
Essentially, I don't mind the back three. What I mind is playing Pedro Porro at centre back. It just makes no sense when there's literally a player playing out of position in his position. None of it made sense. It really didn't. And the game started as you know, we left off at Fulham. You know, they create a chance within the first minute of the game. And I'm thinking, like, how can you be so open from the first minute in a game of this magnitude? It's just like...
Long throw, wasn't it? It was a long throw.
It's just madness. Like, I was stressing so much at the stadium yesterday, man. And... you know, we started completely on the back foot. We conceded the possession to Crystal Palace, a team that don't even like possession. And whenever they ask to have the possession, they're terrible. But not against Tottenham, because we standoffish, stand still, going backwards and backwards and backwards, give them all the kind of hope that they need. And they get that goal, and it was a minuscule of offside. And I thought they were unlucky to have that ruled out because... whatever happened to the threshold of 5 centimetres or wherever it was, like that looked within side of that. Like, I thought we were very lucky not to concede that goal.
100%. We got away with that one. Palace started the first, I think, 20 minutes with 80-something% possession.
Yeah.
It's just unheard of a Palace. 80% possession to Crystal Palace. They were popping it around so confidently. They just looked like they're a team who just knew what they were doing. They were doing things with a purpose, with certainty, with confidence. And this is a team who should be low on confidence right now, who having the best of times, who have a manager who seems like halfway out the door, or fully out the door nearly, you could say, even because we know he's leaving in the summer. So it was a team that, you know, missing 2 centre-backs as well. There for the taking. They were there for the taking yesterday. Yeah, they got on the ball, are popping it around, putting combinations together, got Wharton dictating the game. They were just like having all the time in the world. And we couldn't string 2 passes together. The only thing that ever looked like happening was when we gave the ball to Tell, and maybe he had a shot, he cut inside, had a shot which was nearly spilled by Henderson. That was slim pickings. That was pretty much it. But even before the goal, but he was the only one who was like trying to make big things happen, and even he was losing the ball, and he wasn't exactly having the most amazing game. But he was the only one who looked like trying to make something happen. But again, it looked like, as it has done the whole season, just a team of individuals doing their own thing, and no one combining, no one kind of work. We just weren't working as a team on the ball or off the ball. It was just everyone, like every man for himself, it seemed, in that game. And Palace took full advantage, even though we were going man for man in a similar setup to them. It was night and day in how we were playing the systems. They were just so uber confident on the day, and it was only a matter of time, it felt. Albeit I wouldn't say they had like loads of chances before the goal. You just felt like it was coming. Like, it wasn't exactly a surprise when they scored.
Yeah, they had a few that flashed across the box from corners and stuff like that. I mean, they had a lot more chances than we had. Let's put it that way. And I
think it was just they were the better team, but it was like a tight game.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But you know, if you would have thought anyone was going to take the lead first, you would have put your money on Palace. However, the other way went, and we took the lead first. And Archie Gray, God bless Archie Gray, man, because that was an unbelievable bit of individual skill to get the ball to Solanke, beating 2 men, keeping the ball on and on the money for Solanke, and Solanke, does well to finish it. But I thought Archie Gray, pretty much the only player by the end of that game, from minute 1 till the 90, can say, you know what, I've had a good game, because he is actually standing up for the cause right now, Archie Gray. And it's not just yesterday. I think in previous games as well, it's 2 assists in a row for Archie. And
I think it's 2 assists and a goal in his last 4 games.
That's right. Yeah, 100. Yeah, exactly. So I think he is the one that is showing a bit of mentality to try and get Spurs out of this. It's just a shame that he's on his own.
Yeah. And he's trying his best, and he's doing it out of position. And I thought even if you look at the goal, it wasn't exactly like anything we did as a team brilliantly. It was just Gray had a moment of brilliance on the right hand side, got to the byline, cut it back for Solanke, and we scored. But you can't expect Gray to beat 2 players every time you want to do something. But it's kind of like what he has to do, isn't it?
Yeah, but there was also just a few pass and moves from Archie Gray in the middle of the park, and he was
trying to play football.
Yeah, he was the only one trying to play football. No one was on his wavelength. This is like a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How is he kind of outworking, outmaneuvering, and outdoing everyone that we've got? I mean, it's an embarrassment.
You give the ball to Porro, he's just spamming it forward. Like he's just just lazy. He's just getting the ball, looking up, and just spamming it forward into space, like with no going near no one. And it was so easy for Richards to deal with it. Gray was the only one who gets the ball on the ground, looks for little passes, looks for how he can. He's like passing and moving it, looking for little advantages. And he was in the second half, he burst into the box, nearly got a penalty as well. There was he was doing like things on the pitch with a bit of quality, which no one else was even attempting. The only one maybe was attempting was Tell. He was trying to play some football, but it wasn't coming off as much. But Gray was actually doing well. Like he was actually coming off. He was actually getting some advantages down that side, and we actually looked a bit dangerous there. And he was the only one. And throughout the whole game, you got Paulinho not being able to pass the ball, putting in, chasing his own challenge passes again. You've got Porro just spamming it forward. No one else is able to get the ball on the ground and play. Mawani was shocking, I thought, again. He was horrendous. Solanke wasn't able to get the ball. You got Vicario, not being able to find anyone in a white shirt. The whole performance was just horrendous. And even though we scored, that was obviously a big sigh of relief when we got the goal and we're in the lead. And, at that point, we're in the lead against a Palace side who have been struggling. So thinking, are their heads going to drop? Are we going to go on and win this game? Or even just take something. And the game was, within 5 minutes of us going 1-0 down, the game was over.
Yeah, I know. And I've kept saying over the last couple of weeks, is I want to see Spurs get into the lead and a bit of confidence. That's what they need. They need to get into a lead of a game. They need to feel that confidence, and maybe they can play off it. But it was anything but that, man. After that goal that we scored 5 minutes later, it was self-sabotage of the highest degree from Mickey van der Ven. And I've come on here and I've mentioned Mickey week after week in terms of his head has dropped. He doesn't look like he wants to be there. It's not the right mentality that we need from our captain. And then on the back of all that, he goes and does that. And what is he thinking? I think it was disgraceful from Mickey van der Ven to do that. It really was. Like, what is he thinking? We're 1-0 up, and within 5 minutes, he's pulling back Ismail Yassar, was it? And it's a penalty and a red card. Game done. Nobody had any hope that we were going to get anything out of that game after that. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing from Mickey van der Ven. He's supposed to be the captain. He's supposed to be on the leadership group, and he's supposed to be the one leading by example, and he puts us in this shit just like our other captain, our main captain, did 4 games ago. It's embarrassing.
Yeah. The leaders in this team have to hang their heads in shame about how they're leading this team. You watch the incident, he has one arm on his shoulder, and it's almost like he wants to make sure he gets sent off. It's like, okay, this arm might not be enough to get me sent off. Let me just get another arm and really drag him just to make it clear that this is going to be a foul. And the thing is, Sarr probably wouldn't even have scored. Like, I think he takes a heavy touch. I think the ball's going towards Vicario. I think Vicario probably picks it up or at least makes a save. And yet Van der Ven still makes that decision, that brainless decision, idiotic decision to pull him back. And there was only one decision to be made then from the referee. It was a penalty, red card all day long. Stonewaller. I just can't believe he put us in that decision. Even if it gives him a goal, just let him score, and at least it's 11v11, and you've got a chance to claw it back. Once we go down to 10 men, with the situation we're in, with injuries and everything, it was always going to be a tall order to get anything out of that game against anyone in the Premier League in that situation. And he really put us in the shit. And now he's also missing a game at Anfield. And we've just had a centre-back ruled out for 4 games for a red card for a reckless decision. And now our new captain for the in the next few games has done exactly the same thing. I mean, it's only 1 game this time, but still, it's a ridiculous decision. And it just goes to, again, what is going on within this group. There's no one standing up for the team at the moment, and there's no one making sure that they're making the right decisions, or anyone the players can look up to and saying, this, we have to follow his example.
You may as well give Archie Gray the captaincy at this point, because he's the only one with the actual bottle to stand up for this football club and stand up for this team on the pitch, and it's few and far between that anyone does. But it's really taught us, when the going gets really tough at this football club, our leaders don't stand up for this football team. They're just looking for routes out. That's how embarrassing it is right now. And Mickey van der Ven is a key example of it. Cuti Romero is an example of it as well. And they're just putting us in the shit. They're putting us further and further in the mud. Not like we needed it, because we're in the mud anyway. But we don't have leaders. And when you're looking at the teams that we're fighting against, the West Hams, the Nottingham Forest, they've got leaders. They've got leaders to galvanise the teams and see them through, Morgan Gibbs-White. He's really come alive in this part of the season, scoring goal after goal. He is a leader dragging Nottingham through this hard period, Nottingham Forest. You've got West Ham, Jarrod Bowen, been their captain for years. He's a leader. He absolutely loves the club and he'll die for that football club. And what have we got? When it gets really hard, we've got Mickey van der Ven doing interviews on Sky Sports looking for a way out. We've got Cuti Romero signed a contract in the summer, but before that he wanted out and he probably wants out at the end of this year as well. So we've just got people that just want to flee a sinking ship. When the teams around us, they've got captains that will bleed for that football, for those football clubs. That's the difference between us and them right now.
It seems though no one cares. We got a manager as well who's going to be gone in a few months. What does he really care if we go down on? Obviously, it doesn't look good for his CV, and I'm sure he wants to keep us up. But at the end of the day, it's not his career ain't going to end if Tottenham go down. He'll probably get another job in Serie A. You got all these players who know in the back of their minds if we do go down, they'll have a lifeboat in other clubs coming in for him. They don't really care. There's no one who's like got Tottenham at the forefront of their minds at the moment. It feels there's no one who really cares if we get relegated. I wouldn't say no one, as you said. There's Gray. There's like Tell. Tell might be doing it for himself. I don't know, but I'm sure these players don't want to get relegated. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that they're going out there saying I don't want to get relegated. I'm sure they're trying, but at the back of their minds, it's as though like they're not feeling the consequences of going down.
Yeah, because they know they'll drift off into the sunset in the summer. They'll find a club that may be in European football, Champions League, Europa League. They'll be fine come the end of the season. It's us fans and this football club that are going to be dragged through the mud and dragged through Championship football next season. The likes of Mickey van der Ven and Cuti Romero and the so-called leadership group of this team will be completely fine.
And the people who really know about Tottenham and the history of Tottenham, players who've been here a long time. We've lost the likes of Kane, Dyer, Sonny obviously recently. Ben Davis is obviously out with an ACL. It feels like these guys who were all here, when we were at White Hart Lane and we were going through periods for Pochettino and have like that affinity and that connection with Tottenham, they're no longer here anymore. And what's left? Just a bunch of players who feel like they don't have an affinity with Spurs. They don't know what it was like when we were at White Hart Lane and we were playing under, in front of 36,000 and what Tottenham used to be. And now they've come into this stadium, this training ground, everything's top notch, and they have the feeling they've hit the big time. Whereas I think these other players, they knew what it was like when we weren't like as big a club as we were now, and we weren't this like behemoth, and like maybe that's grounded them a bit and given them that connection of seeing us grow with them. And now these players have come in, and they don't care. They don't care about what's going on here. They're just like, okay, it's like I'm here for the money. I'm here for these lovely facilities, and if we go down, I'll get the money somewhere else. Like I'm here because I'm getting a nice wage packet. It's very comfortable. It's a really sad state of affairs. We've got no affinity, no connection to Tottenham. It feels in that dressing room right now. No one cares about Spurs. It's like a job. It's just a job to them. And they want to do well in their job.
Selfish individuals.
They'll just go. I don't think it's even about selfish. I just feel like it's more about. It's just a job. Like it doesn't matter. So if another club comes who's with more money and different kind of targets, they'll just move on. Like they've got no connection to Tottenham. They don't really care. And
regardless of a connection to Tottenham, if a company is paying your wages, and you've got thousands of people relying on you, and you have thousands of people rely on you, get your head out your own arses, stick through and ride through the bad times and actually stand up for the cause. None of them are doing that. Like I said last night, they're all shitting on the badge. They're all shitting off the club, Tottenham Hotspur. They're shitting on our fan base, or us fans, week in, week out, that pay our hard-earned money to go and watch this dross week in, week out. And we get spat on in our faces, black eye after black eye after black eye. And we all think it can't get worse year on year. Finishing 6th, oh, there's a crisis. Finishing 8th, oh, it's a crisis. Finishing 17th, oh, it's a crisis. Now we're actually going down. We're actually in a real crisis now. A real crisis. And I don't know how we're going to get out of this. I really don't. And I'm fed up of this team coming out in the second half and pretending that they're trying hard and creating a couple of chances when the game's already done. Like, how many times this season have we gone 2-0 down, 3-1 down, whatever it may be by half time, and then they push on for about 10 minutes time and then they run out of gas? We have seen it time and time again this season. How about try from the actual off? Get yourselves a 2-0 lead and then kind of manage the game from there. I think the whole thing is just ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, I don't think Tudor's substitutions made any sense as well. You're just gone down to 10 men. I understand it's a big situation, but to destabilise the team with a double substitution, moving this one to centre back, taking off Sousa, bringing on Gallagher, putting him on the wing, and change it all up. I think it destabilised the team. All of a sudden, it caused panic, it caused confusion, and we got opened up another 2 times, and we conceded another 2 goals. If he would have just not panicked at that moment, just made sure that we were solid until half time and then regroup and then all of a sudden we can go again. Make sure it's 1-1 going before half time. I think we would have had a chance in this game, but the game was over at half time. I think these substitutions completely destabilised this team. I think he panicked in that moment. He's like, okay, we're down 10 man, I've got to change it all. I've got to make 2 subs. I've got to do something. I've got to impact this game. And I think he completely panicked and the team panicked as well, it seemed. And we ended up paying the price for it. At 3-1, it was game over, it felt. It was complete game over.
And what's Vicario doing for those 2 goals, by the way? First one goes completely through his legs. Second one, he's late to come out. I mean, both of them, just this Vicario, man, every week now, it's just like, you just got your head in your hands watching him.
Well, there were rumours of Kinski coming in. It didn't happen. And I think we should have brought him in. Was he on the bench?
Kinski, I think he was, yeah.
Because there's rumours he picked up a knock. I don't know if that's true, but I know Dragishin picked up a knock. But yeah, I think Kinski, we should probably just give him a go at the moment.
No, he was on the bench.
He was on the bench. I think it was worth giving him a go because Vicario's just giving away goals left, right,
as well.
centre.
We just need fresh blood on that pitch because it's just so stale, everything that's going on right now. From 1 to 11, like I said last night, I just don't care if any of them are here next year or not. This club is just completely rotten from top to bottom. The ownership are rotten. The people running this club are rotten. The players are rotten. The manager's rotten. Everything. There's nothing going for us. What have we got to go for us? And I keep thinking, like, I've said it a few times to you now, but like, it looks as though we're going down. We're favourites with the bookies to go down now. And I can't believe we're in a position where we're the 9th richest club in the world, record revenues in the stadium that we're in with all the revenue streams that we do have, 6th or 7th highest wages in the Premier League. When you're looking at the teams that we're competing against, we're probably like double the wages that what they're paying. We're sitting here, favourites to go down. No real way in sight to turn this around. So we're basically sleepwalking to relegation. And still, I just can't envisage us. I can't envisage us playing in the Championship next year. Like, how the hell are we going to be in the Championship next year? This football club. It makes no sense. How have we let it get to a situation like this where we're going to be playing Championship football next season?
This is what years of mismanagement looks like. Not
one person can say to me a way of how Spurs are going to save themselves this season, judging on what we've seen all season.
I feel like, we can change the manager, we can change what we want. We're expecting some sort of lifeboat to come and save us.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't look like it's coming at the moment. No one's answering the call, the SOS call. We're stranded in the ocean, sinking, and there's no one coming to save us, it seems. And I don't know how we get out of it. It seems like a perilous situation at the moment. It seems like a situation that almost looks unsavable, and it's mad to think about it when we're 1 point above the relegation zone still, and we're not in a relegation zone. But that is what the situation looks like. I think, if we were being honest, it's looked like the situation for a while, but because, you could always think, could a new manager bounce, improve things, these players coming back, is that going to improve things, blah, blah, blah. But, we've tried all these things, and nothing's changing at the moment. So at some point, you've got to say, what is going to save us? What is going to save us? What is going to improve us?
I can't see a hero. I can't see a saviour. There is nothing here. We've brought in a manager that is supposed to be a firefighter and supposed to come in and get instant results. He's done it everywhere he's gone. Let's not forget that Jose Mourinho was brought in to bring in a trophy because he wins trophies everywhere he goes. What happened? Didn't win a trophy. Got sacked a few days before a cup final. Conte, proven winner, come in to win a trophy for Tottenham Hotspur. He's won a trophy everywhere he's been. Comes to Tottenham Hotspur, doesn't win a trophy. Ange is the only one that actually, before he came here with trophies with his CV, and he actually came in and won a trophy, albeit he did end up finishing 17th. But this manager has come in with a proven track record for coming in and getting instant results everywhere he's been. We've lost 3 games on the bounce. So he's making wrong decision after wrong decision in terms of starting lineup, playing players out of position where he doesn't need to be. I think the only way that we could potentially save ourselves is to bring in like a Harry Redknapp, and that's not even a guarantee. That is just like a Hail Mary, just on the off chance that he does. Like, I can't see us getting these results under Igor. Like, he's a terrible manager, it seems.
Well, I think he's coming in a very, very difficult situation.
Of course.
It doesn't get much harder than it is right 100%. Now for Tottenham. I think giving him 3 games is unfair and it's stupid, but this is the situation we are in. Like, it's almost like it's not logical to give him 3 games and sack him. I don't think it's logical to do that. I think you have to give him a few games. Yeah, but Stellini was different. He was basically Conte.
Yeah.
It was basically just take over from Conte and do what Conte was doing, but a bit better. And then he was gone. Tudor's supposed to be a change, but I'm not sitting here saying sticking with Tudor's going to save us. But I don't see how sacking him is going to save us either. I don't know what we do. We left it way too late for Frank. Way too late. We should have sacked him way earlier to give ourselves a bit of time to build something new and get some new ideas into these players. Where now we gave ourselves 12 games, and with an injury crisis in a relegation battle and expecting things to change immediately, just because a manager has a track record of improving things immediately doesn't mean it's going to happen. No, doesn't mean it's a guarantee. Also doesn't mean just because that doesn't happen immediately he can't turn things around either. But it hasn't happened immediately, and he only has 9 games left to do it. And the reality is, with each game that passes, you're getting closer and closer and closer to the drop. And how much do you risk? At what point do you pull the plug and say enough is enough? We'll get into the update later. It seems as though they're not going to decide just yet. But there has to be, of course, if you're of the hierarchy, I think there definitely has to be a line in the sand to say if you can't get any sort of win at this point, we're going to have to go in a different direction because we can't risk having more losses at this point.
That's what I'm saying. We're in desperate times.
I agree.
We're in real desperate times. And I said before the game, we need to take inspiration off Wolves and how they've turned it around. They've just beaten Liverpool. They've just beaten Liverpool, and there's nothing to say to me. You can't tell me that Wolves have got better players than Tottenham. You can't. It's not possible. We've got a team that should be in the top half of the table, even with the players out injured now. We could easily be in the top half of the table if these players had confidence about them, had anything about them, and were fighting for the cause. We need a manager to come in that can just I don't know just give a bit of confidence to this team. Surely someone can.
I look at the team we had yesterday, and I actually don't know if it is top half of the table, to be honest. I think I dispute that. I think right now we are probably a relegation. Just like last season when we had the injuries, that team was a relegation side when we were down. I think yesterday, I don't know if it's a relegation side, but it's definitely a side that is bottom half for sure. And
you think so, though?
Yeah,
because
sure.
Vicario is an Italian international. Mickey van der Ven, we all say, is an unbelievable defender. Kevin Danso done really well for us this season. João Palhinha, is a good player.
For Wolves, by the way.
Yeah, fine, but we know he's a good player. He's one of our best players.
He's a mid-table Premier League centre-back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, mid-table. Top half, mid-table.
Top half, okay, but you put that with a teen. I know he's played well, but a teenager, a right wing-back, a teenager at left wing-back, and another youngster Tell in the forward line. Moani, who's out of position as well. You've got players out of position. You've got young players with little experience. You've got to back up mid-table centre-backs like Danso. When you've got misprofiling all over the shop. There's so many misprofiles. If one of those things was wrong, you could say, okay, that's one problem. You've got about 5 or 6 or 7 things there that we have to fix, and it's causing lots and lots of issues. And you've got 13 injuries on top of that. On top of all what I'm saying, right now it's a very difficult situation. It's a very difficult situation. I think
if the team yesterday were on top of their game and had confidence about them, they could finish mid-table or higher. I really think they can.
I don't know.
Solanke's a very good striker on his day. Kolo Muani, France international. Pedro Porro, Spanish international. I mean, these players are not dog shit players. They're good players.
There's some good players sprinkled in with a mishmash of misprofiling, out of position players and little experience. That is what it is. Yeah, but the
out of position players is not the players' fault. That's the manager's fault.
Okay.
The players didn't need to be out of position yesterday. Pedro Porro could have easily been at right wing back, and Archie Gray could have easily been in midfield. Like, that's a manager issue. That's not a player issue.
But still, you still got a lot of inexperience, and you've got a lot of players who just aren't that great. When you look at the team, I know when we have our squad together, we have a lot of good players, and we definitely have a top half, at least a European, in my opinion, chasing squad. But the situation we're in right now, I look at that team. Is that team better than Palace? I think a lot of Palace players get into that team. I think a lot of Palace players get into that team, to be honest. Like, I don't look at the team right now and thinking, oh wow, that team we had yesterday is definitely good enough to get us out of the situation. It isn't.
I'm looking at this Palace team. Yes, 100% a lot of the Palace players get in. I think their goalkeeper is better than ours. I think we probably still get 2 players in that back 3. I think Richards probably gets in the back 3 for us, but not Riyad or Canvo. They don't get into our team.
Wharton, Munoz, Mitchell probably all get in.
Yeah, Wharton, Munoz, Mitchell. Yeah,
Sarr, I mean,
but like at the beginning of the season, you might have said Pedro Porro. You've been saying Pedro Porro is the best right back one of the best right backs in the Premier League.
But yeah, as right back, as a wing back, I think Munoz is.
But that's where he made his name, Pedro Porro, right wing back.
He hasn't played that much there for us.
But that's what we signed him off the back.
Okay,
of.
but I think as a wing back, Munoz is brilliant.
He is brilliant. I don't doubt that.
I think as a full back, I think Porro might be better. But as a wing back, I think Munoz is probably better.
What I'm saying is, on current form, there's nothing to dispute what you're saying. But I'm saying of the genuine quality of the player, if they're all playing on full confidence at the top of their game, they're all good players. They're
all Premier League players, I think. But I'm just saying, they're also battling with fatigue, mental fatigue as well. We're in the so low confidence, and we've got an injury crisis, and there's a bunch of players being misprofiled. My point being is lots and lots of issues at the moment, and it was always a tall order for Tudor to come in with a few weeks and change it all. And I understand he's done that at other clubs, but I don't think any of his other clubs have as many problems as we do right now. We are the biggest challenge he has, that's for sure. And you can even see it in his how he talks and what he's been saying, what the challenges are at Tottenham. So as anyone coming in, it maybe can happen and manager can come in and perform a miracle and change things immediately, but there's always going to be difficult. You look at West Ham right now, they're on brilliant form. Nuno went 13 games without a win, or 11 games without a win or something, right? That's what he had to go through to get West Ham to the point he is right now. And that was after Potter had a shocking start to the season. They had a lot of problems. So Nuno's looking great and West Ham looking great after a real difficult period which he had to go through. Like, Tudor obviously can't afford that difficult period, but that's the point I'm making about leaving it so long to sack Frank, which meaning that someone has to come in and immediately turn around, otherwise we're screwed. And my point is, I don't know anyone who could do that right now. Someone's going to need time to work out these issues and work out who should be playing where, what works best, and who works best for their system, who's going to be, who they can trust, who they can't trust, all these different things. And I understand the temptation to look at the situation and go, Tudor, you're meant to come in immediately and you haven't, so you got to go. I'm not saying this guy is a good manager or not. I've got no idea, to be honest, if he actually is a good manager or not. But I'm saying sacking him after 3 games seems foolish to me. Like, I don't like what do we do?
It does seem foolish. 100% it does. But this is the situation that we've found ourselves in. History suggests to us with Igor Tudor, the longer he's in a job, the worse he gets. That's happened everywhere he's been. So if he's not getting that initial bounce, then what are we doing here? Like, if he's not getting the initial bounce,
comes in and we lose 3 games, is he gone as well?
I mean, how many managers do you end up changing?
That's my point.
But we're going further and further to the drop, right?
Correct.
So we do need a change. Because Redknapp has actually, I know it's been a long time, but he's proven that he can give players confidence before. He knows the Premier League. He knows the football club. Tudor doesn't know the Premier League. He doesn't know the football club. And he's got off to the worst start imaginable.
Redknapp hasn't managed in 10 years.
Yeah.
There's no point.
So go for a Sherwood, go for a Sean Dyche. Like, I'd even take Sean Dyche at this point. Like, seriously, we need someone that knows this league.
There's no one coming, is my point, to come in and put in immediate results. You either give a manager a bit of time to sort it out, or we're going down, in my opinion.
I think we're going down if we stick on this same path.
I think you've got to give him a few more games, in my opinion.
Until when? Until when?
The Forest game.
Until after the Forest game.
Yeah.
So if we lose 5-0 to Liverpool, you're still sticking with him for the Forest game?
If it's 5-0, maybe not. But if we, but I think
it's not a possibility.
No, of course not. But I'm saying I'll try and give him to that. I'll give him to that Forest game. I'll give him to that Forest game.
The reality is, it's probably not going to matter who is in here. It really isn't. But I'm just saying, I think it just gives us maybe a 0.5% chance more if we change it.
I don't think it does. I think it weakens us.
Yeah, it might do. I'm just at a loss. I really am at a loss with the direction of this football club, and I just can't envisage that we're going to be playing Championship football next season. I just can't. It's just depressing the life out of me, seriously. Like,
you're looking at the situation, it's like, this is what I'm talking. We're talking about sacking Tudor or not. It feels like it doesn't matter. Just like it felt like with Frank. Like, the chance to sack him had been and gone. This is what we're saying. We had the chance to sack him. We had games which were favourable. If we had a new manager and all this kind of stuff and had to give him a bit of time, we had favourable fixtures. It feels like that time been and gone, and now we're here. We had the transfer window. We decided to keep Frank through it, and we pissed that away. And now we're at this situation where the window closed. We only signed one player, which we didn't need, and we stuck by him until it was completely untenable, where he dragged us into this relegation battle. But it feels like we could have avoided this situation. We didn't need to let it get this bad. But now we're here, and we've given a new manager 12 games. We're like, okay, you need to change things like right now, otherwise we're going down. And now he hasn't, and it's like, well, fuck. What are we going to do? Yeah. I don't see how we change it.
Look, we're sitting here trying to find solutions of how to turn this form around. The reality is there probably is no solutions. They're going to have to kind of grind it out themselves and try and improve themselves on the football pitch. I think that's what the reality is. But don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. These Vinay and Lange, man, the damage that they've done to this football club, I don't know if there's going to be any turning around from this for a very long time. Like, if we get relegated, this could set us back about God knows how long, 15 years or something. It could set us back a long, long time. And this is happening on their watch. They sold Brennan Johnson on the first day of the transfer window. They brought in nobody. They brought in absolutely nobody. We're crying out for players. They told us, we're going to get players in this January. They panic bought Conor Gallagher, put him the highest paid player at the football club. And now we're sitting here in this position. They should have fought tooth and nail to bring in some players, particularly in the forward line in January, and they have put us in this situation.
Absolutely. And also leaving Frank for too long. That also put us in this situation. Hiring him in the first place also put us in this situation. There's so many instances where this hierarchy have put us in the shit every step. There have been so many. You know what the thing is I was thinking about it yesterday, like, at every step, there have been so many opportunities to actually build something and kick on from a good moment. So many, like countless. And it's squandered time after time after time after time. And we squandered it only through incompetence. That's the only reason we have squandered all these opportunities. Just sheer incompetence and bad decision-making. And it's all self-made. It's all self-inflicting. Every single step has been self-inflicted pain. And there's only so many bad decisions you can get away with before it really catches up to you in a really detrimental way. Throughout the whole, even in the last 6 years, even if you look at the last 6 years where we have been a mess, there have been opportunities there to really build. When Conte got top four, there was a chance there. When we got to the Champions League final under Poch, there was a chance there. When we finished fifth under Ange, there was a chance there. When we even finished one Europa League, there was a chance there. Every step, there are moments where you could just take the positives and take the good things of what you've done and just really reinforce them and double down on them and go and just really put strength into the position that you've built. And every single time we squander it, and every single time we make awful decisions and we don't fully back or don't fully go all of the way or miss out on targets and don't pay the wages, and we have all the money that you would need to put ourselves in strong positions. If Aston Villa had, get themselves in positions of strength, and then they can't sign players because they have 97% wage bill and they have PSL problems. So they're hamstrung, yet they make it work. We're not hamstrung. We're in a position of strength. We have advantages in the market, and we don't use them. We don't use them, and now we've put ourselves in this situation where we need a miracle to start because of years and years and years of bad decision making and not taking advantage of the positions we've put ourselves in. And it's almost like you don't trust the good positions we put ourselves in because we always seem to throw it away. And it's like Spursy as a football club. We grab defeat from the jaws of victory. We do that as a football club as a whole as well, and we somehow are in this position now. It's mind-boggling how we've got here. Like, there are some clubs like Leeds, why they went down, because they spent big money, right? They were in Champions League team, and then they decided to really go for it and spend way over what they could actually afford, and it didn't pay off. So it actually ended up they had to sell all their best players and they went down. But we don't have these problems. Like, we're not in a position where we have to like manage the situation really carefully. Like, we have really good finances. We are in a very big position. We have more money than 80% of clubs in European football, 90% of clubs in European football, and also most of the Premier League. We have more money than them. We can spend more than them. We are not hamstrung. The only thing that's holding us back is ourselves. That's the only thing that's holding us back.
Facts. Absolute facts. And that is the hardest thing to take about this all, because how can a team with our finances, our stadium, our infrastructure be even in the same breath as a relegation battle? It is embarrassing. It's disgusting. It's disgusting where we're at right now. It really is. And every day I think about it, it gets more and more mind-boggling how we're in this situation. It really is. I just can't believe it. I wake up every morning thinking the day before was a bad dream, but it's actually reality. We're actually staring relegation right in the face right now. The bookies' favourites to go down. How the hell are we the bookies' favourites to go down? When you start to become the bookies' favourites to go down, that's when it should really be stinking for everyone, as much as it sunk in for us maybe a bit before that.
I think we've been ahead of the bookies. We've been saying it.
You can't be the bookies. You can't be the bookies' favourite to go down and not worry about it. I still see people being like, "Oh no, we won't go down. We won't go down."
Hyperbolic clickbait nonsense. Someone saying, "What are you like? What are you watching? How is this clickbait nonsense? What are we saying that's not true?"
We are the bookies' favourite to go down. When is that going to sink in with people? I don't understand. This is like the biggest crisis I've ever known. This is beyond a crisis. This is way beyond a crisis.
Someone in the comment, Aldere said, he said, the defeatist attitude is incredible. It's like, what do you want us to say? That we're fine? That we won't get relegated? That everything will turn around? We'll get wins? Well, what am I seeing here to suggest that we will? We've won 2 games in 20. We haven't won in 2026. We have 5 defeats in a row. The stats couldn't be any worse. When you actually, if you just go by the eye test, purely and forget results, we play the worst football in the league bar none. Bar none. We are the only team who can barely put a move together. We can't string 2 passes together at the moment. The players seem clueless on the ball in possession. They don't know what they're doing. They just resort to spamming it long or giving it to Tell, who can maybe dribble past a couple players and try and score. That's the only thing we resort to. There is nothing to suggest right now that we're going to play our way out of trouble. If we were losing games and getting unlucky, and you saw, okay, we lost that game, but we could have turned it around or whatever. That's something. If you saw some positives, we were getting some chances. We just got a bit unlucky in the game, or just beaten by a better team. That's something. But you look on the pitch, we're second best in every game. We can barely pass the ball at the moment. We can barely hurt the opposition.
How many games this season have we actually not been second best in the whole season?
Very few.
Like 30 games in. Probably 1 or 2, literally. The Man City game and the Brentford game are the only 2 games I can really remember where we were wholeheartedly the better team.
Yeah.
Literally the only 2 games.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, how are we expected to win enough games from now to the end of the season to stay up? We have to win more games from now to in the next 2 months than we have in the last
over 20 games.
Over 20 games in the next. No, we've got 9 games to win more games than we have in the last 20. Mm-hmm. How in what world is that realistic? Let alone possible.
And you know what? Every game I try and be positive, and I try and, you know, envisage us winning and manifest it. But I keep getting thrown back in my face week in, week out. How many funny feelings have I had this season, and how many of them have actually come to pass? None. Absolutely none. You know, I've tried to stay positive, but there's only so many black eyes you can take. This club is sinking further than I've ever seen it sink before. And if we get relegated to the Championship, like I said before, this could do, you know, irreversible damage to this football club. It really can. I'm telling you, this is going to set us back a long, 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 long time. A long time. And there's no guarantees we bounce straight back up either. No guarantees at all.
And on the flip side as well, like I've seen some people suggest, yeah, we won't go down because the other teams will be worse. But
the other teams are better.
Much better. Much better than us. The sad, you know what the sad thing is? We're not even the worst team by like a little bit. We're the worst team by a long way. Like a long way right now. Wolves are much better than us right now. Even Burnley are much better than us right now. West Ham and Forest are much, much better than us right now.
At least Burnley, they're showing a bit of fight. You know, they go 3-0 down in the game, get it back to 3-0. They went 2-0 down to Palace, beat them 3-2.
Yeah. We are far and away the worst team, like far and away. Like, we have a lot of catching up to do, even to get to just being like 19th, let alone staying up. It's madness, the situation we've got ourselves in at the moment. I just don't know how we get out of this. I'm desperate. I'm desperate to find a positive. I'm desperate to find an avenue of what I can look at to say that we are staying up and we are not going to be playing championship football. Unless something really drastic changes and a miracle happens, which, look, football is a funny game, and I understand. One crazy moment, one win, one goal can change everything. We've seen that. We've seen that for West Ham. One win against us, it changed everything for them. It happens in football 100%, and I understand that. But right here, right now, where the hell is that coming from?
Yeah,
because I don't see where it is.
It's hard to envisage it.
Where basically the only thing you can hang your hat on is hope. Hope that it changes and ignore the evidence. If you ignore the evidence, ignore what's actually happening, ignore what you're seeing on the pitch, ignore the performances, and just hope and pray and dream that maybe we can have a bolt of lightning, or maybe Man City will get relegated with their charges, or maybe Kudus will come back and turn into prime Messi and he'll fire us to safety, or maybe someone in the team is going to really step up and turn it on, or something's going to happen to get us winning games. Like, that's hopeful though. There's nothing actually based on evidence. There's just hope, like maybe we can turn it around. Like, I don't actually see right now, looking at the situation, how it does turn around.
Yeah.
Like, logically, there's no logic to it actually turning around. The logic states we're going down, if you're thinking about it logically.
And on top of that, we got this Champions League, these 2 ties against Atletico Madrid, which we really don't need at this point.
It's a distraction.
We really don't need them at this point. Like, we don't even have enough players to start resting loads of players either.
And the problem is, you know, Atletico, they're a tough, aggressive team. You know, we're going to pick up injuries in that game.
Yeah. We went back against it. That's for sure.
Like, if someone could logically explain to me how we're staying up, I'm all for it. But logic states we're going down.
Yeah. We just gotta pray. Pray to any god that you believe in. See which one sticks. I'm sure one of them will. And maybe we'll get out of it. Maybe some luck will go our way. We've been so unlucky all season with certain refereeing decisions and this and that. But luck never comes our way as Tottenham Hotspur fans. And maybe we're due a bit of luck from now to the end of the season and we can get past this. But I just can't see it. I can't see it. We've got Liverpool away coming next in the league. When do we ever get points against Liverpool, particularly at Anfield? And then that game against Nottingham Forest. That game against Nottingham Forest is literally the biggest game in our recent history.
The thing is, they could be above us by that time.
It's very likely that we're going to be in the relegation zone. Not very likely, but it's a big possibility.
It's a possibility. They could be. They got Fulham next.
Yeah,
if they win that
home,
game, if they win that game, which is out, not.
I think West Ham have Man City.
Yeah, so maybe they won't both win, but if Forest win, they could be above us. So even if we win the game, which at the moment looks a tall order, but even if we beat them, that means we'll only go a point ahead of them. It's not like we're out of the shit.
You know, our goal difference as well. A few weeks ago, it looked like our goal difference could have been a good point, but our goal difference is sinking very fast.
Quick.
You know,
we've still got 8 lead or something.
Yeah, we've still got a lead, but it's not an insurmountable lead.
Or if we keep getting battered at the moment.
That's what I'm saying. We've got Liverpool this weekend. You know, it could take a massive hit at Liverpool.
100%.
And if the other two teams win, then that's, you know, even more so. So, yeah. I would love to come on here and try and give you all hope and say we're going to beat this and, you know, we can look forward and sail into the Premier League sunset. But it's just so hard to do. It really is so hard to do. It feels like Tottenham Hotspur is just dying in front of our very eyes. It really feels like that. And again, I just cannot believe we're in this situation. It's killing me, man. It's absolutely killing me.
Let's hope for a miracle. Is it a great escape if we stay up from this point? Is it considered a great escape?
I don't think so, because we're not even in the drop. We're not even in the relegation zone, but we could be very soon.
I guarantee you there will be at least 1 week where we're in the relegation zone this year. And we're probably going to end that way, but it'll be very soon probably. We will be in that relegation zone. And then, I mean, if we're not already panicking, you should start. You should start. Because as soon as we get in it, are we ever going to get out of it?
Well, we'll keep turning up, fly out to Madrid on Monday, then back again. You're up to Anfield on the weekend. Back at home against Nottingham Forest. We'll keep turning up. We'll keep singing and supporting the boys. Let's hope that they can pay us back at some point. And if they can stay up, it'll mean something. It'll mean a lot if we can stay up. And I can't believe I'm saying that. Like, wow, staying up is such a big thing. But right now, in the situation that we're in, it'll be massive. Absolutely massive if we can stay up.
You know, I was thinking about how, you know, a few seasons ago, like, Everton stayed up on the last day, I think it was, and there was a pitch invasion and everyone was wildly celebrating. I remember when I was thinking about back then, I was like, that's so embarrassing, isn't it? A big club like Everton celebrating wildly, staying in the division. Isn't it just embarrassing they're in that position anyway? Like, what are they doing? Now I'm thinking, I will celebrate all up and down the high street if we stay up on that final day, because we are.
It will go to them, won't it?
Will.
It's going to go to
that final day, honestly. I mean, if we're not down already. I'll pray. If you give me right now, it's going to go to the final day, I think I'll take it, because I'm worried we might be gone before the final day. There's a chance. Because I think West Ham and Forest are going to win a few games between now and the end of the season, like more than one. They're going to win a few games. I can't see us winning one game.
Yeah.
So we could be done before the end. That's what I'm really worried about.
Yeah. Also, you just never know how things progress through a season. Like, we might play a couple of teams this season towards the end, you know, that have completely checked out, that are on the beach, and maybe we can pick up a few points that
Palace
way.
is supposed to be checked out.
Well, Palace, we were still saying a week ago that they could still get sucked into it and sucked into the drop. So that win has pretty much saved them. So they still had something to play for, albeit they've been on horrific form.
Our whole season predictions haven't gone well at the moment.
No, they've gone complete opposite. Like,
complete opposite.
All the unexpected points for West Ham and Forest are picking up, and we're losing all the expected points.
Yeah. So we had Tottenham staying up by 2 points, I think it was.
And we did have us. I think we had us in the relegation zone. I think next week or 2 weeks. In 2 weeks' time.
We had Palace going down, and we had Spurs beating Palace.
And Palace already safe.
Yeah, already that's done. God.
Maybe we'll have to do it again.
Oh my God! If we do it again, we're gonna have us going down right now, because I can't actually sit here and predict any win in any game. Literally, you give me any combination of game right now in the Premier League, I can't confidently say we're going to win any of them. That's the truth.
Yeah, it's very hard to take. It really is hard to take.
The only thing I can maybe say is I know they've just both been sent off and they're not fighting. Once we get Romero and Van der Ven together again, once we get some players back, like a Kudus or something, maybe inject something into this team. Maybe that's the little bit of quality we need. Maybe we can start attacking teams. Maybe get players in different positions. Maybe something will happen. You never know. But I just don't think there's a guarantee of that right now.
Yeah, I'm just completely broken, man. I really am. I don't know what to do with myself. Like, this football club is going to kill me, I swear. I'm so broken. I don't think I've ever been this depressed before. Ever. Like, seriously.
Maybe we need the worst to happen just so we know it's not that bad. Things carry on.
Oh, don't start
Don't
start with this delegation.
We'll have a new perspective on life.
Don't start with this delegation, man. If we go down, that actually might ruin me.
Some people say the best times they ever had were in the Championship. I've heard that. Not just Spurs fans I've heard say that. I've heard other fans say it was the best time when we were in the Championship. Had the most fun. Different grounds, no VAR. You've got real football, real fans, real atmospheres. That's where the real football is.
Great.
That's where it's really about the Championship. I've heard actually.
Fantastic.
It's what people love.
Fantastic.
Takes you back to your roots. It grounds you. It humbles you.
How do you know?
That's what I've heard. I've been told.
By what kind of fans?
Lots of different fans.
Go on.
Lots of different fans.
Who?
Just different fans.
What
Newcastle
clubs?
fans.
Newcastle fans.
Villa fans.
Newcastle fans hated the Championship.
I've heard Spurs fans who said they one of their favourite seasons was when we went down and when we came back up.
Sim, what are you on about?
Just saying, just putting it out there.
What are you on about?
Sometimes when the worst happens, it can be a good thing, Makes you realise
Sim, you're not making things better. You're not. You're making things worse.
You get so scared about the worst thing happening sometimes that when it happens, it can be a relief.
So you're on the delegation train then?
No, not at all. Not at all. I think it will be a disaster. But maybe that way of thinking is what's getting us in this situation.
No, what's getting us in this situation is this fucking shit football club. That's what's getting us in this situation. This club that we've loved for our whole lives. The club that has the biggest revenues, 9th richest club in the world, in the midst and favourites to go down. That's what's getting us in this situation. Mate. Anyway, let's move on. I hope you guys put in your player ratings, because that's what we're going to get onto next. All right. Let's actually get into a couple of super chats just before we do that. Conal says, if Igor goes, who's next? Mason 3.0, Redknapp. I mean, there's a few options. Mason 3.0, Redknapp, Deitch, Sherwood, Klinsmann. Klinsmann's done it before. He's come in and saved the club before. Can he come and do it again? Who knows, mate? Who knows?
I don't know. I think if we sack Tudor and get another manager in, it's just another example of panic, isn't it? It's just, I know this whole thing is panic. I get it, and maybe we should panic and just sack him again. I just think sacking him again is just ridiculous. But this whole thing is ridiculous. So maybe we need a ridiculous decision. Ridiculous times call for ridiculous measures. Maybe. I guess that's one way of looking at it.
L'Apprentice says, Ben, Sim, hope your hopes soon make peace with the situation. Prepare to expect the worst. And right now, I think we all are expecting the worst.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm fully accepting it at the moment.
It's hard to accept, though. It really is hard to accept. And L'Apprentice again says, maybe going down is the shockwave needed to unite the fans and demand this ownership to either be a football club or sell up. Look, they're not going to sell up if we get relegated. It's just,
I don't think
devalues the club massively.
Going down is the shockwave to unite the fans. The fans are right. I think the fans are giving their all at the moment. Like, we keep talking about we need everyone united together. In the last few games, what I've seen, especially at the beginning of games for most of the game, is that the Tottenham fans are really getting behind the team.
Look, I've been there the last 2 games. I've been there for the Fulham game at Craven Cottage, and I was there last night. The fans are behind the team. The fans are most definitely behind the team as much as they can be.
So after every game, I see even other podcasters. I see them. Yeah, but fans have just got to unite and they just got to be together. I think they are. Until it gets to a stage where the game's gone and there's no coming back from it. We're all right behind them, cheering them on, supporting them. We're doing what we can, but it's not helping. It's not enough.
The game was gone yesterday, and the fans were still behind the team. Players even got clapped coming over to the South Stand after the game yesterday. We're trying to give them as much confidence as we can.
At the end of the day, we can't put the ball in the back of the net for them.
Exactly.
No, that's the reality.
And we can't stop these individual errors either.
they're the ones playing. As much as the fans can be the 12th man, the fans can only be the 12th man if the game is even. You know what I mean? Or if the game is in the balance, then the fans can make the difference. If you're playing like you are, fans can support what they want. It's not going to make the difference.
Yeah. All right, let's get into player ratings. First and foremost, we go to Guillermo Vicario, and Vicario gets 2 from Sim, a 3 from me, 2.7 from you guys. And yeah, I mean, look, the 2 goals that we conceded were horrific. One goes through his legs. The other one, he's too slow to come out. And has this guy ever dived the right way for a penalty, like, since joining Spurs?
Can't remember.
I swear we're in a penalty shootout. That penalty shootout that we had, who was it against? PSG? I think he did. Didn't he go the wrong way, like, every game, every shot?
Even the one they missed, I think he went the wrong way, if I remember rightly. Yeah, not good at penalties. I think he was all over the place again, not confident. The 2 goals that we did concede, apart from the penalty, I thought he was weak, to be honest, in both of them. He made 1 save from Wharton off the top of my head. I don't remember too many other saves. I thought he was not good.
Yeah.
Kicking as well, as per usual. Doesn't even need mentioning anymore.
Yeah. Who's next? Pedro Porro, you gave him a 3, I gave him a 4, you guys have given him a 3.4. Started off at right centre-back, so, I mean, lost the battle from the first minute with Pedro, but it felt like the only thing that he was doing was getting the ball and hoofing it long, literally, every time he got it, and it just got so frustrating, man.
Yeah. Like,
really frustrating. And he goes off, when he got taken off, he looks fuming, didn't he? He was absolutely fuming. And look, he was captain on the night after Van der Ven got sent off. We had 3 captains last night, from Porro to Vicario as well.
More captains in one game than I'm going to have maybe in the managers.
We had more captains in one game than we've had probably points in the last 3 months.
I thought he was pretty bad for most of the game, to be honest. Again, play our position, but defensively, I don't think it suited him, dealing with long balls, having to battle against the front 3 in one-on-one situations. He also was giving away stupid free kicks where he didn't need to. That really frustrated me. And it's on the ball. I mean, there was a couple of maybe good set pieces he took, but apart from that, like, I just thought he was getting the ball and just spamming it forward without even a second thought. And maybe that was one of the tactics, you know, get the ball in behind early and try and catch out Palace. But none of his long passes were accurate, it seemed. They all seemed to be going astray and weak. And I just didn't think he had a good game on the ball or off the ball. I thought it was pretty poor.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see his stats, his passing stats yesterday, because what did he do? 72% passing accuracy.
It's pretty bad.
4 out of his 10 long balls accurate.
Bad.
Yeah, so that's Pedro Porro.
Passes into the opposition half, 60%. I mean, it's so low.
All right, who's next? Kevin Danso. I gave him a 6. You gave him a 5. 3.9 from you guys. I thought he was the only one in the back line that comes out with any sort of credit. I don't think it was great, but I just gave him an extra mark just because I think he showed a bit of fight and commitment to the cause.
His long throws were decent, I guess. That's not much. Got bullied for the second goal. Should have stopped Strand Larsen heading that into Van der Ven's path, but I think it was okay.
He's the only one in that back line that can actually win an aerial duel as well.
Yeah, seems that, the other ones are just not strong enough, it seems. Unless Romero's there. Yeah, I think it was okay. Wasn't particularly impressed.
Next up, Mickey Van der Ven, 0s all round for Mickey, 0.9 from you guys. This has got to be the lowest rating we've ever given.
And the fans, I think.
And the fans, yeah, on We Are Tottenham TV, like, embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Captain's armband. He's been shocking for weeks, let's be honest. When you need a leader to pull you through the mud, he has not been that by any stretch of the imagination, and he self-sabotaged that game yesterday. As much as we were second best by the time he got sent off, we were 1-0 up, and within 5 minutes of being 1-0 up, he's pulling back Ismaila Sarr in the box, sending off penalty, and the game's pretty much done from there.
Yeah, he should hang his head in shame. Hang his head in shame for what he did yesterday. I think as well, when you look at the penalty incident, it all started with his mistake. It all started with his mistake, with that clearance that went straight up in the air, causing panic. It then leads to Sarr going through. He then pulls it back. He then has one hand on the shoulder and decides to get his second arm and pull him back even further, just to doubly make sure he gets sent off. You know, if someone else is better inclined, you could say he did that on purpose, just to make sure he definitely got sent off. I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying that's the way it looked. And ridiculous decision, put us right in the shit when we just got the lead as well. To do that was inexcusable. I didn't think he was having a particularly impressive game before that. Again, he's doing his Van de Ven things, picking up the ball and just going for a run. And I think when things are going well, you know, it's an extra weapon. But when things are going badly, it's just like... He just seems desperate. You
know what though, like I actually thought he was having a decent game in the opening 15 minutes or so. You know, he was putting challenges in. He looked like he was actually up for it for the first 10-15 minutes, and then that happens.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
And it cost us big time.
Yeah. All right, next up is Archie Gray. 7s all round from Archie, 6.2 from you. I think the only one from start to finish that can hold his head up high. He's the one that is really standing up for the cause. Looks like he wants it. Looks like he's got a good mentality about him. Starting to shift in with the goal contributions as well. His assist was absolutely brilliant. Getting past 2 Palace players, just about keeping the ball on and putting it on a plate for Dom Solanke. And it just wasn't that. He's actually looking forward, trying to progress the ball forward, little passing moves. He's always moving around, always looking to try and hurt the opposition. It's just a shame because he can't do it all on his own.
Yeah, he's the only one showing a little bit of quality, a little bit of bravery to get the ball on the deck and actually play some football, pass and move, little interchanges, little flicks. He's got 3 goal contributions in his last 4 games. Archie Gray has that, by the way. We're relying on Archie Gray to get our goal contributions. But you know what? Brilliant assist against... who was it last week when we played Fulham? Brilliant assist yesterday, and he's had to do so much work by himself, beating 2 players on the touchline and then whipping it in, nearly winning a penalty as well. But again, to do that, he had to beat 2 players to get into the box. He's the only one providing something at the moment for the team and stepping up for the team. Unfortunately, just not enough. But fair play to him. He's playing anywhere we want him to play, and he's doing a decent job. Fair play to him.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw that interview with Javi Simmons a couple of days ago. He did this interview and he said Archie Gray is the best trainer at Tottenham.
Wow,
and
there you go.
And you can see it. Like, this guy, he's got a good mentality on him, man.
Good head on his shoulders.
Really good mentality on him. Next up is João Palhinha. I give him a 4, you give him a 3, 3.8 from you guys out there. I mean, it's just standard João Palhinha, isn't it? Like, off the ball, he's trying his best to win the ball back. I don't think it's a lack of effort from him. I think it's just a clear lack of quality when he is on the ball. He just can't seem to keep possession, really.
Yeah, honestly, the amount of passes he makes that just don't reach their target is ridiculous. I thought he was a bit of a nonsense at centre back as well. I thought he got beaten quite easily for especially the 3rd goal. I thought he was beaten very easily. I don't think he performed pretty well at centre back. But yeah, it wasn't great from him, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Next up,
Mate Sarr falls all round for Pape. You guys have given him a 3.4. I mean, a couple of occasions now in the last couple of games, look, the Arsenal game and now this game, he just loses the ball way too. He's just too weak to lose the ball in those situations, and they both culminate in goals against us. And look, the guy, he runs around a lot, but sometimes he shows a bit of quality, sometimes he doesn't. Way too inconsistent within games. And yesterday, I thought was one of the bad performances from him because there was just no quality from him.
Yeah, I thought earlier in the game it was looking all right, but it just very quickly dissipated. And
it does cover a lot of ground, though.
He was just a bit anonymous again for large parts of the game. I thought early on he was wrapping some passes really well and into the centre and trying to get us on the front foot, but no, nothing. It didn't really continue in that vein. It was a pretty poor performance in the end.
Yeah. Sousa falls around for Sousa. 4.2 from you guys. I mean, he started the game very aggressive in a very aggressive manner, didn't he? He was flying in the challenges, got booked early on, got taken off after the red card. So, yeah, it didn't have too much impact in the game. Just put a couple of challenges in there.
Yeah, I think there was a couple of nice things I saw from him. I actually thought when he got into their half, he looked all right. There were some quite decent crosses he put in. Set pieces he was taking was okay. I mean, one played short, wasn't great. But I thought once he got into the Palace half and he put a cross in, he actually could cross. But I thought defensively he looked a bit out of his depth. When he injured Munoz, I think that was actually a big indication of how he's not quite up to pace yet with the Premier League. I thought he had quite a big advantage on Munoz in terms of...
it was such a bad tackle, wasn't it?
Yeah, but he had quite a distance on him, and Munoz was still able to beat him to the ball, and it was a poor challenge, and he got deservedly booked for it. So look, again, he's been thrown in the deep end. He's a teenager from Brazil. I'm not expecting him to set the world alight. I think he's done all right in his little cameos. Again, he only lasted 40 minutes. I wasn't overly unimpressed, put it that way, but I still think he's clearly not quite Premier League just yet.
Next up is Randall Kolo-Muani. Sim gives him 1. I gave him a 3. I think I have been a bit generous on him here, to be honest. 2.2.
You said everyone was getting zeros yesterday.
Yeah, I know. My head was on Mars yesterday. 2.2 from you guys. I mean, look, it was an embarrassing display. I think he didn't put himself about, hardly won any of his duels, lazy. There was nothing in that performance yesterday. I mean, you thought really Igor Tudor, the one player that he could get something out of would have been Randall after what they did with Juventus last season. Got that goal against Arsenal, and you're thinking, all right, maybe we got something here. But ever since then, it's just been nothing short of embarrassing from Kolo.
Yeah, I thought it was terrible again. Giving the ball away. There was a moment as well, giving the ball away in his own corner, getting crowded out. No quality, no link up with Solanke or anyone else really as well. I thought he was bullied again by the Palace centre-backs. He just seems like nothing's going right for him. Nothing's happening with him. It just seems like a lack of care. I thought he was terrible and rightly hooked off after 40 minutes. I know it was due to a red card, but I was happy he was one of the ones hooked because he was just shocking.
Yeah. Next up is Matisse Tell. I gave him a 5. You gave him a 6. 5.3 from you guys. I commend his effort. I really do, because similar when he came on against Fulham, he's getting the ball, he's charging at the opposition, he's asking questions. I did feel there was a little bit of a lack of quality on the day, but at least he's showing a bit of effort and desire to go and hurt the opposition. So I think he's got to keep starting.
Yeah, I think he has a willingness to take people on and try and make things happen. There was a moment in the first half, he wriggles in between two players, has a shot, and it nearly forces a mistake from Henderson. You're like, all right, that's what we need, just someone to try things. Someone who's brave enough just to try something. It's like he's the only person in the squad who's just capable of just trying something at the moment. There was some mistakes for sure. For the second goal, I thought the pass to Sarr really put him in trouble. I know Sarr made a mistake for it as well, but I didn't like the pass from Tell. But what I liked from Tell is he gets the ball on the ground and he plays football. He looks for little 1-2s. He looks to do things. And there was some good stuff in there from him. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough on the day, but I think he came, in terms of our outfield players, our attackers, he probably came with some of the most credit out on the day.
Yeah. Last but not least, the starting lineup, Dominic Solanke, 6 all round for Dom, 5.2 from you guys. Yeah, I thought he was struggling in the first half, a bit isolated up front. But in the second half, I think he came alive a little bit. And, you know, when we were the ones with the possession, he had a couple of chances on goal. He was pressing, he was trying to force the issue and actually looked like he wanted it in the second half. But, yeah, still couldn't get another goal. He did get a goal, put the ball in the back of the net to put us 1-0 up. So I thought he was okay.
Yeah, nice goal, and he had another moment, didn't he? Second half, had a shot saved by Henderson, which was from his own making. I actually thought he was battling in that second half, and again, it was a lot to do with he would win a first ball, and then no one's mopping up to get the second ball and helping him out, and it's like doing it all by himself, and there's only so much he can do. As you say, first half it was a struggle for him, but he did score. Wasn't too mad at him, but wasn't amazing either.
Yeah. In terms of the substitutes, Javi Simmons, I gave him a 4, you gave him a 5. You guys are giving him a 3 out there. Yeah, I wasn't too impressed with Javi, to be honest. I think there are a number of lazy passes out there from Javi, which I was getting really frustrated with in the stands. A couple of times he tried to make things happen, but yeah, I thought it was pretty poor for him, to be honest.
I think he injected a little something in terms of he was winning free kicks, he was beating players. There was a couple of moments. Free kicks, yeah. There was a couple of moments he actually wriggled past 2 players and then opened the game up a tiny bit, which wasn't happening before. But unfortunately, you have to say there's just what the game will be remembered by is what happened when those free kicks were taken. Because the first one, I think he had a shooting position. He tries to go under the wall, completely mishits it in a decent position. Second one, right at the end of the game, crossing position, and oh my God, if we thought, I mean, Vicario's one was bad. This is up there. I mean, he just gives it straight to a Palace player. For some reason, decides to play it short for Tell. Tell's not expecting it. The Palace player is the only one who reads it, and all of a sudden, Palace won a counter attack. It was shambolic from Xavi on that occasion as well. Yeah, I can't give him too much credit, but at least he was forcing the issue a bit where it seemed like everyone else had given up.
Does he start for you next game?
If we're playing a back 3, you know what? Yeah, he probably does. Because I don't want to see
instead
Moani
of
anymore.
Moani, yeah. All right, next up is Yves Bissouma, 5s all round, 2.7 from you guys for Yves. And I thought he actually came on and added something for us in the middle of the park, a bit of bite, a bit of aggression, won the ball back a couple of times and tried to sustain that pressure in the Crystal Palace half. So, no, I think he did all right.
Yeah, at times he was decent. Hard for him in the circumstances, but I thought, especially in the first 15 minutes of the second half, he was really pressing and actually winning the ball a few times. And we were trying to force the issue, but once we didn't get that goal, it seemed as though like we had just given up. It's like, okay, we didn't score. That's it. We have to drop back now, and it was hard for him to sustain it. And after that, he struggled. But yeah, I thought it was okay in parts.
Richarlison, 4s all round, 3.5 from you guys. Unfortunately, he didn't have the desired impact when he came on like he did against Fulham. I thought he was, proper fighting against Fulham yesterday. I didn't really see much in his performance, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, came on, but obviously we're already 3-1 down to 10 minutes. Tough situation, and he just couldn't impact the game like he has in other games.
Yeah. Conor Gallagher, you give him a 2. I gave him a 4. 2.1 from you guys. Again, I've probably been a bit generous here, but he did nothing. He did absolutely nothing.
He was pissing me off, actually. I know, again, he was kind of playing this hybrid centre mid right wing role. Every time we looked to play a ball to him to run onto, he just didn't get there. Richards was getting there ahead of him every single time. I don't know if it was the quality of the ball or just Gallagher not having the pace or just couldn't get there, but he was really pissing me off, Gallagher. I thought it was shocking when he came on. Absolutely shocking.
Yeah. Yep. And last but not least, Igor Tudor. I'm going to give him a 2. I think he's been terrible since coming here. Yesterday was another line of terrible management, playing Pedro Porro at right centre-back. Poor changes throughout the game. Couldn't really do much to stem the tide in our favour. First half was absolutely diabolical. What can I say?
Yeah, I gave him a 2 as well. I thought... Didn't like the selection at the start. I don't know why he's playing players out of position. I didn't like the way he made those subs just before the break, just after the red card, which completely destabilised the team, and all of a sudden the team looked confused and looked lost. I didn't like that either. And I thought our in possession game looks as bad as ever. It's like he hasn't worked on it. It's like the only thing he's worked on is maybe to try to press. That's it. He hasn't worked at all on how we're going to build up or how we're going to keep possession. That's it. And there's serious question marks about whether he should still be in a job. I think the whole thing is ridiculous at the moment.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is our player ratings. Let us know your player ratings in the comments section below. Another embarrassing defeat from Tottenham Hotspur, or to Tottenham Hotspur. Let's get into a Tottenham update. Just line that up. All right. Yeah. All right. You ready? Let's get into it. Tottenham update. First up, let's start on the manager, Igor Tudor. There's a lot of rumours flying around about him this morning, as Graham Bailey says that Tottenham are actively assessing options to replace Igor Tudor. Sammy Motwell says that Tottenham have no immediate plans to change the manager for a second time this campaign. Tom Barkley says that Igor Tudor is scheduled to take the media press conference on Monday ahead of the trip to Atletico Madrid. And Sam Wallace from The Telegraph says that Tottenham are considering their options for a second change of manager in a month after 3 defeats in Igor Tudor's first 3 matches in charge. As things stand, the club say Tudor will take the team for the Champions League game against Atletico Madrid.
Look, I called it after the Fulham game. I said, I think they might sack him, or they might look to sack him because they're not going to allow this to carry on and allow him to send us down. Now, I think they're going to give him to that Forest game, and I think that Forest game is going to be the kind of that will be his final straw. If he can't get any wins before then, I think he'll be gone. It's interesting the way they've worded it. They're considering it and they're giving him the Atletico game. Maybe if Atletico goes really badly, maybe they'll consider it as well. But we shouldn't be judged on it on the Champions League at the moment because that's just a distraction. So I don't know how much difference it makes if we win or not. But obviously we need a good performance. But it is a massive distraction, that Atletico game for our survival. But for me, it doesn't shock me how this board. I don't know if it will be the right decision to sack him or not. If I'm being honest, I think either way, it's like choosing between 2 shit sandwiches. I don't really know what the right one to pick is.
Yeah, I think when you're looking at it, there's no right or wrong solution here. There isn't.
Yeah, there's just panic. It's just panic stations at the moment. You know, we bring in a new guy. If he doesn't win in 2 games, we're going to sack him. And, we're going to end up with, like, how many games we've got? 9. We can end up with 4 different managers if we keep going like this. Another 4. Yeah. Before we go down.
Might break Marinakis' record this season.
Might do. Wouldn't be shocked. For me, at this point, you might as well stick with it because I think we're screwed either way. But I think they'll probably panic and they'll probably get in another manager and just try and see if they can get anyone out of this. But it hasn't worked so far after 3 games. And considering what his track record is, the fact that it hasn't worked immediately is very, very concerning. We haven't improved. I don't know if he has it in him to turn this around.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a lot of people calling for it already. Doesn't surprise me. Look, if I woke up tomorrow and he was sacked, I'm not exactly going to be sitting here saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe we've done it." I don't really care. Like, do it, don't do it. We're screwed either way. It feels like I just wouldn't. If it was up to me, I probably wouldn't make that decision right now.
The Mail are reporting that former Tottenham manager and player Glenn Huddle has offered to save Tottenham from relegation should Igor Tudor be moved on as interim boss. He did say, I can't remember on what
manager he was, right?
I can't remember. He didn't take us down. On what platform that he said that, Tottenham's his club and that's something that he would get him back into management. And he hasn't managed for even longer than Harry Redknapp.
I think these guys, Huddle for sure, I'd get him into the club maybe as a coach or something, or assistant, or like as a voice in there. I would take that. I don't know about first team manager, but I wouldn't mind it. Just get him in as a voice in there. And because look, what I like about Glenn is he talks well and he has a good eye in terms of he's good football knowledge and he understands the game really well. And so I think he would be a good voice in there, but I don't know if I'd put him in as manager.
Yeah, it'll be quite something if Huddle was given the managerial role from now until the end of the season, because he was actually ENIC's first ever appointment.
True. Yeah, you full circle.
Literally would have gone in full circle.
But it's mad that like the conversations we're having, like people are now not only taking like suggestions like Redknapp very seriously, they're like angry if you don't do it, where it was first suggested as a joke.
Yeah.
It was first suggested as something like, oh yeah, obviously bring up Redknapp to see, yeah, cool, funny. Like everyone's laughing about it.
But he's actually put his hat in the ring. He wants the job.
I understand, but now like there are people out there who are like angry if we don't install Redknapp right now. Like that's where we're at. We've gone from it's just a joke to if you don't do it, it's the wrong decision.
Well, that's what happens when you're in full-blown crisis.
Yeah, everyone's like just like
we need something. We just need something. Next up, Sammy Mockbell did a report about this potential new sporting director at Spurs, and we covered this a couple of days ago from a different journalist, but he's saying Dougie Freedman, a contender for the vacancy, as well as Paul Winstanley and also Thiago Pinto. All those three sporting directors are on the radar for Spurs. And we obviously spoke about Dougie and Winstanley a couple of days back, but Thiago Pinto is a new name, and he's obviously the sporting director at Bournemouth right now, and doing a good job. Thing about him, before Bournemouth, he was at Roma, and he's got a very good eye for talent, Thiago. He signed Dean Hyson twice, first for Roma on loan, and then for Bournemouth, and he did very well for Roma, and he's doing very well for Bournemouth right now.
Yeah, fantastic. I just find it so hard to talk about sporting directors and these things right now, but look, I understand that's what needs to happen because we need one, and we need Johan Langon, and we need someone who actually has quality in that role. I don't know if these guys will come to us to win the championship. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. They all sound great. They all sound like they could do a great job. It's just about us. What do we want? And we need to find a sporting director that fits that. But I don't know. I don't know who the right guy is. These guys all have good talents, but they do good jobs for where they're at. Not all jobs are translatable. It's hard to know. We've gone through these situations so many times, and doesn't just because you do good job for one club doesn't mean it's translatable here. Question is, who is translatable here? I guess that is I guess that's the big question. I'm sure they're all talented, and maybe they all would do a good job, but I find it very hard to think about a sporting director at the moment.
The reality is, since ENIC have taken the helm, we've had like every single possible model imaginable. We've had the European model, we've had the English model, we've had this model, that model. Nothing ends up working.
They all either get disillusioned or
we don't give enough time.
Not enough time. We know they don't listen to them enough, and all these different things. It just keeps the same thing keeps happening. So we can talk about all these sporting directors have done. It's all well and great, but what does it mean?
And finally, Florian Plettenberg, just to stick the dagger in and twist it last night after the game, reported that Barcelona are now closely monitoring Luka Vuskovic and have added him to the shortlist for the summer. Hansi Flick appreciates him. Initial talks have already taken place. Hamburg are pushing for a second loan, but Tottenham's clear plan is to bring him back in the summer. And I swear, if this guy starts pushing for a move for Barcelona, all this excitement that we've had to see Luka Vuskovic in a Spurs shirt, we're never even going to see it, are we?
I know. So Spurs, we have one of the best talents in world football that we'll never get to see play. And we're living in that possibility 100%. I really hope we keep him. Even if we go down, I hope we keep him. And that's the kind of decisions we have to be making, in my opinion, if we do get relegated. Like, those are the kind of players we have to trust, like really talented young players who are right at the beginning of their careers. That's the direction we're going to have to go with. We're going to have to try and build something like that.
Vuskovic is too good for the Championship now.
The guy's 19.
He's playing in the Bundesliga week in, week out.
I know, but he's our player.
I know he's our player.
We get to decide what we do with him.
We do. But I think we might be in a financial situation where if we get a big offer, we're going to have to sell him.
Depends how many other players we sell.
Yeah.
If we get enough sales without selling him, we should be all right.
What if he doesn't want to come back?
It's not up to him.
You can't hold a player against their will like that.
You can.
Like we can, but they're going to become disillusioned.
He's 19. Or whatever, he's 18.
Yeah. Doesn't matter how old he is.
He ain't going to throw. He's not going to. He's not going to start playing badly at 19 because he's disillusioned of being at Tottenham.
I mean, when you've got teams like Bayern Munich and Barcelona after you, and
if you want that move, you better earn it.
And then when you got Tottenham saying, no, you're going to stay here and you're going to play in the Championship.
Correct.
Like,
if he wants to move,
his agent is going to kick up the biggest fuss.
Right. If he's forced to stay, he'll play well to get that move.
I'm not so sure, man. I don't think we're going to see him in a Spurs shirt. I really don't.
Look, you might be right. I'm just saying I would keep him.
Yeah, who wouldn't keep him? Everyone would keep him. He's an unbelievable talent. There's one thing keeping him and actually him staying.
I'm saying I'd force him to stay.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen.
I'm saying I would force him to stay.
Yeah, well, let's see if that becomes a reality. I'm not so sure of it. But look, that is your Tottenham update. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Exactly what Carlson says. We can't keep him in the Championship. Come on, mate.
Why not?
We can't.
We can.
We can't.
So why not?
We could keep all of them then, you know what I mean? But we're not.
Vuskovic is not all of them. He's a 19-year-old kid. He's got his whole career ahead of him.
He's a 19-year-old kid.
He doesn't have
that
to move
right now on loan is playing a much higher level than what we're going to be playing at next season.
Okay, but he's our player, and he's not like he has to move now. Otherwise, when's he going to ever play at the top level? He's got his whole career for that. He's not even 20 yet. So if we want to keep him for a season,
but he's at that level though. He's at that level,
and he'll be at that level for a very, very long time.
You're talking about like one of the best young talents in world football now playing champions in the championship. That's never going to happen.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not?
Why
Because
not?
it's not going to happen. Because he's one of the biggest talents in European football right now. How is he going to sink down to the championship?
He's a teenager.
Doesn't matter how old he is.
Of course it
He's
does.
good enough.
It's not like he's 25 and you can't afford to spend a year in the championship at that age. You can.
It doesn't matter whether he can afford it or not. The guy is good enough to play at a top club. Like, he's not going to play for Tottenham in the championship. He's just not.
Well, I would make him.
Let's get into a couple more super chats. This one, I can't read your name unfortunately, but it says, "Blimey, had a dream. No chance we're losing again. Let's smash Palace." This was given today. Well, we've already lost to Palace. He says as well, "Survival mode activated. Belief irrational. Come on, you Spurs." And then another one saying, "Worst case, we go down. Best part, Son turns up in the championship, drags us up single-handedly, then leaves on a free like job done. Come on, you Spurs."
Yeah, get Sonny back.
Mate, Sonny must be looking at what is going on at Tottenham now, being like, what the fuck, man? I leave you for one season and you're going to go down. Jesus. All right.
We doing reacts?
Yeah, let's get into reacts. See how the internet did react to this game. Touchline. The Tottenham fans are ready for the second half.
Wait. Hasn't been lined up yet. Well, you do comment. How would you react?
All right, let's get into the way the internet did react to the game. This first one is from Touchline saying the Tottenham fans are ready for the second half, and like all these pictures of Tottenham fans coming out.
He actually looks chipper, I would say.
Yeah, compared to the other one. Compared to what we're all seeing, feeling in that stadium yesterday, man, that is...
I think he represents all of us, this guy.
Yeah. Troll Football says, "Spurs are so bad that the fan in the wheelchair stood up and walked out at half-time."
Miracles. That's how bad Tottenham are. Performing miracles.
This one's brilliant. James Dickinson saying, "Even he's seen enough."
Got a blind man walking out. he can't watch any more of this.
One Football says, "Ollie Glasner has won as many games at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium since January 2025 in the Premier League as Ant Postecoglou and Thomas Frank. He's the manager of Crystal Palace, while both Postecoglou and Frank were permanent Spurs bosses."
Same with Nuno.
That is mad.
Him and Nuno
as well, yeah.
It's ridiculous. Our home form is just beyond anything you could ever describe.
Yeah.
There's not a word that in the English language that puts into description of how bad it is.
DR Sports says this season Arsenal have the same amount of points as Spurs since the start of last season. Wow. That is fucking embarrassing.
They're going to lap us. They're going to get more points in one season as we have in two combined. They're going to lap us.
Yeah. Aidan James says this is Tottenham's fixture list for next season.
Just Mansfield, Worcestershire, Southampton, Folkestone. Yeah,
Coventry. Yeah, Coventry will be in the division above us, to be fair.
Yeah, this is Tottenham. This is going to be our... When we get the fixture list at the beginning in July, this is what it's going to look like.
Tetrunk says, "Are we fucking serious? What is this all about?"
This is our chief revenue officer doing some sort of meeting or whatever this is.
I'll be speaking at SXXW in Austin next week. Our session explores how Tottenham Hotspur Football Club is evolving beyond football to become a global cultural brand and what that means for sport, entertainment and partnerships. You know, you can do one, mate. Spurs are evolving beyond football, are we? How about evolve within football? We're a bloody football club.
He's going to say at the beginning of the meeting, you see, it might look like we're it's not going well, we're going down, but the reality is we're beyond football. We're beyond football, so it doesn't matter that we go down. How amazing, isn't it? We are future-proofing this club against bad results and against championship football, and even though we're going to lose the Premier League revenue, we're beyond football. So we don't need the Premier League revenue because we're beyond football.
Guys are just killing this club, man. This club is dead, man.
It's the evolution, the championship. For God's sake. Oh, this is our chief revenue officer. Do one. What do you mean you're doing a talk about how we're evolving beyond football when we're about to get relegated?
Record profits the championship ever seen.
Who are these people?
This next one says Igor Tudor reign.
This is Igor Tudor's reign, man. Honestly, I think Liz Trussell's probably longer, for sure. Oh my god! And she lasted. I think a piece of lettuce lasted longer than Liz Truss.
Yeah. Out of context football. Just going through loads of Spurs fans yesterday.
Yeah, you know what? I have to say, TNT, they were just on a mad one yesterday, zooming in, and all these Tottenham fans just looking utterly
happy they didn't zoom in on me yesterday.
God, it was just like fan after fan after fan, just looking utterly just.
They pretty much pictured every single fan in the stadium.
All the fans left.
Football on TNT says Tottenham have picked up just 3 points in the second half of the season. 3 points.
In 10 games. Fucking hell.
It used to be like 10 points in 10 games was terrible.
Yeah, that is bad. 10 points in 10 games is like shockingly bad.
Yeah. Ollie Davis says Vicario has not saved a single penalty since joining Spurs and only dived the right way in 3 out of 15 he's conceded, including a penalty shootout.
3 out of 15 he's dived the right way. That is a ridiculous stat. That is a ridiculous stat. God, it's like he's diving out of the way of them.
Literally.
Honestly, I could probably dive the right way more often than that. It's 50-50.
Yeah, you used to be a top quality keeper.
50-50. Like, you'd have to be doing it on purpose to get a ratio like that, I swear.
Yeah. Who Scored says Tottenham have now conceded 25 first half goals in the Premier League this season. Only Burnley have conceded more.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, Spurs in first half this season, man. It's just so demoralising, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like we start the first half, it's like a handicap.
Yeah.
That's what
literally.
It is.
ESPN UK says Premier League wins.
Yeah,
we've done that. Douglas Critchley says, relative to their individual abilities as players, aside from Mo Salah, is there a Premier League player that has had a more disappointing individual campaign than Mickey van der Ven, particularly down the stretch when it matters most? I mean, look, first half of the season, we were all saying, he's actually improved as a player, but now he's taken a massive backward step in the last couple of months.
Yeah. He has been awful. It's a weird one. We were saying how he's improved, and it's just fallen off a cliff for him. I guess it has for the team as well. But I guess has he had the most disappointing season relative to his individual ability?
Definitely the second half of the season.
Yeah, you have to say right now for sure he's probably one of the most underperforming players in the league at the moment for sure.
Yeah. End Peps Juge says, Fairs man, club members at the stadium get a zoo-like experience of their players getting sent off. And this is Mickey van der Ven walking down the tunnel straight into the dressing room, and the tunnel club get full view of it.
Front row seats. Fantastic stuff. They're going to be tunnel clubbing it in the Championship next season.
Pro Tottenham says, do you know what's the saddest thing about Tottenham and our collapse? It's how literally self-inflicted. We've seen big clubs go down due to financial hardships, sanctions for breaking the rules, or simply just not being good enough because they haven't got the muscle to do so. But with Tottenham, this is basically a choice of the owners to relegate the club. For a club to be such a strong financial position, to be in the position to spend 200 million on players and have it not affect our PSR, only to choose to spend 13 million when we are staring at relegation with the worst injury crisis we've seen ever at Tottenham, is nothing short of criminal negligence. There are plenty of people to blame, but the blame is no doubt at the feet of Daniel Levy, Enoch, Lewis Family Charrington, Lange and Vinay for the mess we are in and the fact we are about to be relegated. They need to sell up. The entire board needs clearing out. And if we are to move forward as a club, football needs putting first again. Not profits, not F1 go-karting, not concerts, not NFL, not boxing events. Football. They need to sell up, and we need owners who will put football at the forefront of everything.
And you know what? They're not even hiding it, because we just saw the chief revenue officer saying he's setting up a talk about how we're evolving beyond football. Yeah. So like they're literally telling us. They're literally telling us right there. They're doing talks about it. They're doing talks about how football isn't at the forefront of his football club anymore. The whole thing is baffling. This is what I've been saying, by the way. The whole thing is completely self-inflicted. It's completely self-inflicted. Yep. We have every advantage you could ask for as a football club.
No one's disagreed with you.
It's madness.
Yeah. Next up is Squawker. Crystal Palace have won consecutive away league games against Tottenham for the first time in their history. How mad is that?
You know what? I saw a quote from Glasner. He said, when I first came, one of my first games was we played Tottenham away. We lost 3-1, he said. And, on that day, there was no chance we were ever winning that game. Tottenham were just levels above us. It was so good, and we were so far beyond them. And now we've just won 2 games in a row, and it just shows the progression of my team. And I'm like, I think it just shows how bad we've become.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, because Palace weren't even great yesterday. You know what I mean?
They weren't.
They didn't even need to do it.
To beat him.
They did nothing to beat us. Let's be honest. We just beat ourselves.
We put them under a little pressure. We created some chances. Like, they weren't that great. We were just awful.
Yeah. One football. Tottenham are winless in 11 league games for the first time since October 1975. They have also dropped 5 Premier League games in a row for the first time since November 2004.
I was under Martin Yell.
Bro, winless in 11 league games since 1975.
Is that when we went down?
No, we went down in 77, yeah.
God, the records keep coming in.
And this next one's pretty much the same. Tottenham go 11 without victory in the Premier League for the first time ever.
Shocking.
Squawker. The most Premier League assists at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this season. Sarr with 3, Javi with 2, Kudus with 2, and now Adam Wharton, second highest assister at the Premier League, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
That's a joke. In one game.
Yeah. Who scored? The only 2 Premier League sides to outperform their XG this season is Tottenham and Burnley. Can't run away from the numbers.
Cannot run away from the underlying stats. I've been saying it all season. You can't do it. You can run, but you can't hide.
Opta Joe says, only Wolves have lost more home Premier League matches than Tottenham since the start of last season, while Spurs have the fewest home points of any ever-present side since 24-25. Free fall.
Yeah, man. The home form is just beyond disgusting.
This next one is from Hotspur Reports, just saying speechless, just showing some more depressed Spurs fans.
That's how we all feel.
This is from Hotspur Callum saying, Luca, you have to get back to Spurs. You have to go back to Spurs. And he's just like, I'm not going.
That's his reaction. Oh, yeah, he was so close to scoring the other day. I saw another good performance from him. This one we've seen.
Next one is just Spurs v Lincoln.
That's what it's going to be like. We're going to have these big glitzy bloody screens on the edge of our stadium saying Spurs versus Lincoln at home.
Spoiler alert, we're not. This is Dalio 7 when Son said in that documentary thing that they're going to be fine without me.
Little did he know. Little did he know.
I told you, we need you back, Sonny.
If Sonny knew what was going to happen, would he have stayed, do you reckon? He would say, I can't have my team going through this.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. Welsh Spur says a picture is worth 1,000 words. So this guy was pictured on the cameras and he just put his finger up saying, get out of my face.
This is like a resignation, though, like sitting back and just middle finger up.
Folan says, all we need is consistency.
One was given a penalty and a red card. One wasn't even given a penalty.
Unbelievable. Memorino, this is Johan Lang on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You have 13 fit players and no points. What do you do in the January transfer window? Fuck all, sign players, sell players, fuck all, sell players and gaslight fans.
D, please.
Change for Tottenham as well. Arranging protests for the next 2 home games. They say that Tottenham are now in serious danger and the direction of this club cannot continue without challenge. Both Nottingham Forest and Brighton protests must be massive. Forest will include a post-match stadium protest inside the stadium. Now the whole fan base must stand up.
100%. Go and attend these protests, man. We need to voice that this situation is unacceptable for Tottenham Hotspur to be in, and it's all down to the owners. There's nowhere else to look.
Beyond unacceptable, man.
It's beyond unacceptable. We have to make our voices heard that we're not going to stand for this. And I know protesting ain't going to keep us up, but at the end of the day, we have to put pressure on them in any way we can, and it's the only way we can do it.
Madders Day says, Dejan Kulusevski trying to talk some sense into this wretched group of absolute dross who don't deserve to represent my beautiful football club.
Yeah, he must feel so helpless at the moment, Defcon.
You saw all the players on the sidelines yesterday. They were just like, what is going on?
Yeah, scratching their heads, not being able to help the situation.
No context Tottenham. Oh, God. Romero and Van de Ven.
That's pretty much what they've been doing this season, especially recently.
Yeah.
Just not saving this situation.
SZY Comp saying, look at this fucking gooner. I'm not even going to say the last word, but get him out, man. Just get him out my football club.
I don't know what he's doing.
No context Tottenham. This was Javi's free kick. Oh my God, it was awful.
Another memeable free kick.
It's like every game, man. Like, what is that?
What are you doing? Honestly.
Yeah.
It's just nowhere near tell. It's like, what are you doing? And also Danzo just stops blocking. He's blocking him and he just stops. He's just, I'm going to land and take the ball.
Yeah.
Why?
And look, that is that. That is the way the internet reacted. Another hard episode of Reacts.
Not getting any easier.
And there you have it. There you have it, people. There was, I think, another super chat that came in. No, there isn't. All right, let's get into some comments, people. Again, you guys have been doing your best work to support us and putting some comments in, so let's get into them.
All right. First one is from Kenny, 1962. Says, I actually do think we deserve criticism for sacking Ange, but for not the reason everyone is saying. The heart of the matter is when we sacked Ange, this affected the dressing room morale. This is not conjecture. The players told us they are now playing like a team completely disaffected by their owners. And it's no wonder that Frank and Tudor can't get a tune out of them. Now, do I think they're trying to get relegated out of spite? No, absolutely not. But I do think the core of the team feels completely at odds with the ownership. They won the Europa, and in return, the owners effectively said, we don't trust you. Ange was not perfect by any stretch, but the players believed, and they personally liked Ange, which should not be underestimated, and they won. This is the fallout.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really disagree with that too much. I said...
In terms of players being at odds with the ownership, regardless of Ange, that's definitely clearly true.
Yeah, that's clear to see. That's clear to see. And the players obviously liked Ange, and sacking Ange for Frank seemed as though, like, in hindsight, the worst decision that we could have done. That's the reality.
Yeah, tell me about it. I think he's right. I think a lot of what he says, but not to say that we should be in this position. For sure. Just,
I do think, like, if they would have sacked Ange and brought in someone, then they could actually have got behind. It could have got better.
Yeah.
But we didn't. We brought someone to take us backwards rather than forwards.
Correct. I think bringing in Frank for Ange was a horrible misstep, which I think not only did you lose a guy who the players liked and they trusted his way of playing and wanted to play that way, you then bring in another guy who personality-wise they didn't mesh with, and also he had a really way of playing which they didn't believe in. And so you like double down on the problems, and then you're left in this situation, and you've just ruined that good feeling of the Europa League. Like, that is And it kind of sent the message out as well that Europa League meant nothing. I think that's what it did do. And it said, actually, what really was important is that you finished 17th, not that you won the Europa League. And I think that was the wrong message to send out to them.
Yeah.
Danny Boy, T.O. says, generally the only person who could come in and give these players a boost wouldn't take long to implement an idea and style, would have them players fighting, and is Ange. The guy none of them wanted gone in the first place. None of these players know who Redknapp is. Nobody knows who Sherwood is. Nostalgia won't save us.
I think everyone knows who Harry Redknapp is.
From probably from the jungle.
Yeah. But look, these players know their history. It's not like just because they were born late.
Do, actually.
I think they would.
I don't know if they do. Maybe like Conor Gallagher might, but you think... trying to think like Buani, you think he knows who Redknapp is?
Yeah.
No chance.
I think he does.
No chance.
Who doesn't know Harry Redknapp? Everyone knows Harry Redknapp.
Some of the English boys might. If you're a foreign guy, why would you know who Harry Redknapp is?
Because everyone watches the Premier League when they were younger.
Yeah, but that's a long time ago now. 2010 you're talking about.
Yeah.
A lot of these players are very young.
Yeah, they would be watching the Premier League though.
I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people would know who he is.
I reckon they would. I think Harry Redknapp's a very famous person around football. And I think if you're watching the Premier League 20 years ago, 15 years ago, you would know who he is.
15 years ago, like, how old was like, even like Porro was like 10 maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know.
I'm sure you remember a lot of managers from when you were 10 years old.
Fan. I mean, it's different.
They were fans as well. They literally lived and breathed football.
They were training all the time.
Back when they were 10 years old, they were fans as well, like us.
I know, but they didn't all grow up living and breathing the Premier League like we did.
I'm sure they all watched the Premier League when they were younger.
Maybe the big games. I was literally watching every game. That's different when you're a fan. I'm a Tottenham fan as well, so I'm focusing on Tottenham. How many of these guys were watching Tottenham all the time? Probably not.
Not Tottenham, but Tottenham were also playing in the Champions League back then and big games against Real Madrid and stuff like that. Like, I'm telling you, these guys...
You think Redknapp comes in and everyone's like, oh, God, it's Redknapp. We all got his respect.
Maybe not like that, but they'll definitely know who he is.
I don't know. I think quite a few won't. I'm not saying all of them. Most of them probably will, but I think quite a lot won't. It'll be like 60-40 or something.
I also think they might kind of resonate with his personality, though.
That might be true. But I don't know if that'll even be enough. Roy Davidson says, as an Everton fan who has gone through this too many times, it's all about fight, and Spurs fans got to back the team like never before.
Yeah, and it's true. We do got to back the team like never before, and I think we are backing the team.
Got Everton fans giving advice to us.
You had Everton fans back then, right, when they were in the midst of a relegation battle. Their fans were like lying in the streets and flares and welcoming him in the team bus and putting the other team bus under pressure and stuff like that. I feel like we're at that stage. We have to like just treat every game like it's a North London derby and like not like when we won 3-0 under Conte. The high road that like every game needs to be like that. We just need to give 1,000%. Honestly, from now to the end season.
Yesterday, even from the morning, I had a pit in my stomach like it was cup final day. That's how it felt like yesterday. It was so nervous, and we need to treat every game like as it is a cup final. As I say, I agree with you. Like, it's that important at the moment.
Yeah.
But that's why it's so demoralising when you see empty seats and stuff. It's like, these games are so important. We need a full crowd. We need everyone, but it's tough to convince everyone at the moment with how things are going.
Because the reality is, I know Everton have never been relegated from the Premier League either, but they've been there before. They know how to like come together in these kind of situations. We've never been here before. I mean, we've been here on the odd occasion, but like the fans that we've got now, like especially the younger generation, they've never been here before.
Never close. Not even close. Extinction is possible. Picture of a dodo. Maybe Tottenham are going extinct. Says, don't know if it's true, but apparently there was a Spurs fan in a wheelchair that got up and left early. They were so bad.
Yeah, I think that picture is actually an old picture that always kind of resurfaces when Spurs are bad. So
rumour has it. But yeah, maybe Tottenham are going to be going extinct soon. Hamster78 says, the sunshine has left. Winter is coming.
Yeah, I think winter is here.
Winter's here, yeah, it is here, 100%. It all started going massively wrong as soon as Son left this club. And then there's no, like, coming back from it, feels.
Yeah.
Steve Bork says, as a non-Spurs supporter, going through 3 managers since this time last year after winning your first title of any kind for ages, no sporting club in history has become better with such instability. Look at every club with a legacy. The key is loyalty and consistency. That's from a non-Spurs supporter.
Yeah.
Non-Spurs supporters giving us advice in a moment. They all feel sorry for us.
I mean, yeah, like Man United have chopped and changed managers, but even with success, cup success and stuff like that.
It hasn't helped them really, has it?
Hasn't helped them. But they changed manager this season, it seems to have helped them.
In the short term.
Yeah. I would love a short-term boost right now.
Yeah. I agree with the comment. I think we just went in the wrong direction again. I think it's just more of the direction we went in, but I agree, like, look, done it to death. I would have liked to seen season 3, but alas, now we're here and we're on the brink of, I don't know what you call it, season 1 of the championship now. On the brink of that.
Season Defcon 3.
Stephen Barnard, I believe Van de Ven done that on purpose. He's done.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of this suggestion that he's done it on purpose. I don't think he's done it on purpose, but I just don't think his heart is in it right now. I think he feels like he's too good for this situation. The reality is he is too good for this situation, but he is in this situation, so he should be managing himself a lot better than he is.
It's so frustrating to think about this whole situation. Like, we're all saying there's going to be a fire sale, loads of players are going to leave, which is all true, but like they're all going to go to like clubs, probably bigger clubs in Europe and other situations, and they're all probably going to do well. And it's like, why can't they do well here? It's just
the Sharks are going to be out. I'm telling you, the Sharks are going to be out across the Premier League and across European football. They are looking at this Tottenham situation being like, there is going to be so many players on the market now.
But the thing is, like, we're all saying, oh, it's, you know, the players, but then they're all going to get big moves.
Yeah.
So, like, if they were all rubbish, then there wouldn't be big teams in for him, but there will be. So, like, how
for
can
some
we,
of
how
them,
can we
not
that
for all
bad?
of them.
For a lot of them, I think.
Yeah.
For a lot of them. Yeah, not all of them, but a lot of them, there'll be big teams in for them. And so how can they all be so bad if there are going to be big teams in for them?
Out of all the players that we have now, who
Even Vicario, they're talking about Inter and Juve being in for him.
Yeah, it's true. But out of all the players right now, who do you think is realistically going to stay in the Championship?
Danso.
He's a potential.
Dragoshin, maybe. Souza.
I think Dragoshin is going to push a move.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Kinski.
Yeah.
Souza.
Yeah.
Spence, maybe.
Nah, no chance.
Spence play in Championship.
No chance.
The doggy.
Nah.
Bergvall.
Nah.
Gray.
He might stay.
Sarr.
Nah.
Don't think Sarr stay?
No.
I think Sarr might stay.
Don't think so.
I think Palini is gone. Bentancur's gone. Basuma's obviously gone.
You've got to realise as well, these players who are international players right now that are starting or in the squads for their national team, they are not going to want to stick around for a year in the Championship, or at least for them a year in the Championship.
Yeah, of
like
course
they're not going to be. They might not even be considered for their nations if they're going to be playing in the Championship.
It's true.
So like these players, like
there's no tournament next summer.
Yeah, but still, they still want to play for their countries.
Yeah, but it's not as desperate as it would be if there was a tournament.
No, but still, like they've got still international breaks, 3 or 4 a summer, 3 or 4 a year.
Odebear probably stays.
Odebear, yeah.
Got ACL.
I think Odebear stays.
I reckon Tell leaves. Solanke?
Solanke will leave.
Richarlison leave. We'll probably sell him. You know, if we decide to keep him, he might stay, but he'll probably go. Mawani, he's not getting renewed. Kudus is off. Maddison? I have a feeling Maddison might stay, you know.
Maddison stay in the Championship?
Because he might take a year to recover from his ACL, and he might think, doing the Championship, less eyes on me, less pressure, get me back to my best.
He's not spring chicken, Maddison, mate. He's going to be 30 next year. I don't think he wastes a year in his career in the Championship at that age.
I think if there is 1 year to waste, it would be that year.
Yeah, but I don't think he will want to waste it. I think he'll still back himself.
He might stay. I think he might stay.
Nah.
Decky, he'll probably leave. Xavi, he's definitely going to go.
Ben Davis will stay.
Ben Davis, yeah, we'll give him a new contract. Who else is there?
Yeah, that's actually mad. That's true. Maddison, this will be his second relegation.
Yeah. Although
Relegated for Leicester.
He hasn't played a part in any of this one.
Yeah, true. So not many
Austin,
players.
Yeah. Gallagher, he'll be
We
gone.
might have to sign Basuma up.
Gallagher will be gone.
Basuma might stay.
Basuma.
All of a sudden, we're dying to keep Basuma.
Yeah, please, leave. We'll give you some balloons. Just stay.
If you stay with us in the Championship, you can have all the balloons that you want, mate.
Yeah, mate. Well, okay, so yeah, not me. 100% will be a massive rebuild. We'll have to bring Lancashire back, Donnelly, Moore,
Janai will be a big part of us in the Championship.
Phillips.
I knew we kept Phillips around for a reason.
Divine will come back. To be fair, if when it comes to our academy, if we were to go down, we have good players there at least.
Yeah.
Whereas other clubs maybe won't be as lucky as we would be in that sense. Scarlett, he'll probably stick around.
Yeah.
Connor JN8879 says, oh no, wait. Sorry, missed one. Daiko Magic says Sim has officially reached Defcon 1. Full panic mode has reached the championship, is about to arrive. Sorry, full panic mode has been reached. The championship is about to arrive. Yeah, yesterday I was in full panic mode, 100%. I couldn't take it. I couldn't take what I was watching. What's there to not panic about? If you're not panicking now, when am I ever allowed to panic? Are you ever allowed to panic? Is panicking ever acceptable in any situation?
Last night was fully acceptable panic. Last night and now, just the situation that we're in. Last few weeks has to be panic.
Well, right now, it's one of them.
You wanted to end the stream at half time, did you?
I'll just end it. Just end the stream. I'm done.
And then battled on for the 5 hours.
You know what? Second half, I think I was just so dejected. I'm watching. I'm like, why am I commentating? This game's done. Why am I even commentating? And someone someone wrote in the comments, I don't think he said a word for about 15 minutes. I was like, oh shit! I just haven't been speaking. I just God. And people, you know what? We had like 6,000 people watching just me sitting here like this, just like that. Just like not saying anything. Connor J8879 says Spurs were okay up until Solanke scored. Van de Ven completely threw the game for Spurs there. It's all on him. I think even Sarr scores that 1-1. Spurs are still a massive chance of winning the game. The crowd was up for it 1-0. Van de Ven let the club down. I always thought that Spurs would do just enough to survive. This is the first time I felt that Spurs will actually get relegated. I'll be honest, chaps, I'm West Ham, and after we lost to Forest in Jan, I thought we were dead and buried. I can see it being a shootout between Spurs and Leeds. The worst team in the league by far. Even Wolves are playing better. It's going to be a tough end to the season. I think you're down.
Oh, thanks a lot.
From a West Ham fan.
Go do one.
He was trying to be somewhat supportive. He said Spurs were all right before the red card. He's trying to give you some positivity.
So yeah, Spurs are all right, Yeah, but you're down.
But we are down. He's absolutely right.
I don't want to hear it from a West Ham fan, man. From a Spurs fan, I can accept it. But from a West Ham fan...
You're down, mate.
Exactly, you're going down.
Look at your club, son. We're still above you, 1 point. You're going to have to claw it away from our cold, dead hands.
Exactly.
David Weekly says, relying on a new manager bounce is ridiculous, mate. Do we go through weekly managers until we get a win? It's not Tudor, it's the players and the leaders, plus not signing anyone extra in January.
It's everything, mate. It's not Tudor, and it's not the players. Of course it's the players, and of course it's Tudor. It's everything involved, mate. And yes, we do keep we're going through one manager a week until the end of the season. Maybe we'll get a few wins.
So we're going to go through. So you want us to go through weekly managers?
We'll go Redknapp against Liverpool, Sherwood against Forest. We'll go for Robbie Keane, Robbie Keane the next game. You know, just keep going. Just go one Spurs legend in for every game. Ozzy Ardiles can take one. Glenn Hoddle will take one.
1 week we'll chuck De Zerbi. Give him 20 million if he can win us a game.
Glenn Hoddle will take one. You know.
Exactly.
Get Glenn Hoddle and John Gorman back.
I think we should just get a roulette wheel, just spin it, and just see who's going to be our next manager.
Exactly.
You know what? That's probably more effective than our current decision making.
Probably.
Daniel Black says, "Feel your pain, Ben. Ben, don't go anymore. Take your time out for your own health."
Yeah, I felt like that last night. I need to, but the pain, the pain I had last night, man. The pain I'm in right now, like literally, I've never felt like this about Tottenham before. It's like literally rock bottom, down in the dumps, and it feels like there's no way out.
Well, he says take time out for your own health. At least we don't have a game this weekend, so
I'm going to have a very relaxing weekend.
Spurs aren't going to be playing. Just take your mind off it, switch off.
Yeah, family, kids, relax.
Most important things in life.
Exactly.
Hars604 says Van der Ven saw that Spurs were 1-0 up and realised he wouldn't be able to leave in the summer, so he went into Romero mode.
Yeah, literally. He's like, what? There's a chance we're staying up now? Oh, fuck! Shit. I got to throw this game.
Let me just quickly pull him back even more. Just pull him. Yeah, I think that's a theory. That's a theory people are going with. That's it. That's the comments.
All right. Well, that is that, people. I hope all of you have a very good weekend. Take your mind off Spurs this weekend, and we go again next week against Atletico Madrid. We fly out on Monday, so the next bit of content you'll be getting from us will be live from Madrid, match preview and predicted lineup and all that kind of stuff on Monday. So yeah, we're having a very much needed weekend off, people. Yes. So
and I advise everyone to do the same. Just switch off. Don't watch any doom-mongering podcasts except for ours. Don't watch any more just people going crazy. Just have a few days off, take your mind off it, and rest your minds. We all need all the energy we can get for this final 9 games of the season. So these are only 2 days we're going to get for a couple of weeks. So I suggest you take them. Yeah, exactly. So have a good rest, people. We'll see you all on Monday live from Madrid. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.